What's good? What's good? What's goody? It's your buzzing cousin Ghost Boogie. Welcome to B-Boys Underground, episode number 71. We've got the one and only mighty Goomson of the Inner Realms, y'all. But first, this past weekend, February 22nd, our own Mad Ways had a performance. Check this out.
B-Boys Underground. This shit sweet like syrup on a pancake. I'm the guy on the couch who's half-baked. I'm the guy with the mix, all rhino. That's my shot to the corner, the white rhino. You know the beat up there, we carry precious cargo. Take it to the bank, no cross marker. That's the stash house. They all with the selfie like I'm a cash cow. But they squeeze these one when I smash out. I let the door right before I pass out. I let it check before I'm upside down. I can straight the teeth, I'm on the upside down. It's just me and the posse, no insane town. So we insane, straight all across that. It's gonna beat me up, Scotty, that's so now. I'm truly one of one. I'm just so down. I'm so blessed that she has I'm so fresh. I've been told I get hope in the hopeless. Nevertheless, I'm a usual suspect. Blue tip, they know I got a hundred. That's what we know. Shout out Casino. Psycho Easy. My boy Arsenal. I got my son Flo rocking with me.
Los Angeles, make some noise!
What's good? What's good? What's goody, y'all? It's your buzzing cousin Ghost Boogie. It's B-Boys Underground, episode number 71. First up to the stage, we got the one and only Mad Ways. What's goody?
What it do? What it do? Hey, we not on stage, right? See us?
We can see, but I was wondering if that was just
Nah,
me.
I don't see.
So,
nothing.
yo, we're live, y'all. I'm going to add everybody to the stage and hit refresh.
Oh my God. I love it.
Yeah. Hold on.
Hey, enjoy that artwork.
Yeah, that shit looks fire.
That is
Goomson of the Inner Realms.
some of the Inner Realms.
Man, check it out, B. We got that.
If y'all listening, hey, that was my beat. Mad Ways killed. We.
Let's go. Shout out
fire.
B Dash Fresh.
Thank you, bro. That was fire.
B-Boys Underground shit. You heard me shout it out too. Like, let's go.
What's up, Birdie? GMC. What's up, y'all?
Yo, so I need everybody to leave.
What's up, Wayne?
Dang.
Okay.
I need you guys to leave, and you guys that are watching this, do not tune away because we're not going off the air.
What's up,
I
Cuss
just need
Dread?
I need everybody to leave the studio and then come back in for me.
Gotcha.
So check this out, y'all. We're gonna keep this going. We got Weez McGee in the house. We got Wayne in the house. I'm going to go ahead and blame all of these technical difficulties on this booth piece of software that we use, that we pay money, and they're going to be wanting money from me here tomorrow. And yet I now have another podcast that I've had technical difficulties. Yes, I'm talking to you, StreamYard. StreamYard is booth. Before you invest and spend any money in StreamYard, this is the problems that you can expect. So StreamYard, you better holla at me. Mad Ways, let's see if you can see your face. Nope. Fresh, you're on stage. You're on stage.
Bet.
Mad Ways, you're on stage. You're on stage, and nobody can.
I hear somebody.
We can only see the other backdrop.
You can see what?
Only the backdrop.
That's what I'm saying too. You guys can only see scene change, right?
You know what?
Hell,
this is why we say we're live. This is what happens.
we are fucking live, y'all.
Boom!
There we go. Oh,
see, they've got some bullshit going on. See, look, they're trying to do
now
this
we
new
got it.
feature shit, and it's all fucked up.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Well, we're gonna fix your Goomson right now. Let's go.
Well, hey, y'all, we live. Yo, welcome into a discombobulated episode of B-Boys Underground because StreamYards is boof. They're boof. I'm sorry. That's all there is
Bufferoni.
to it.
No
Boofaroni.
cap.
But yo,
No cap.
without that being said, look, welcome in, Goomson. We're gonna go ahead and just redo this again.
Yeah, no doubt.
First up, we've got the one and only. We'll go with G Dash Fresh.
Kind of
G
weird,
Dash
but hey,
Fresh. What's
we
good,
live
fam?
like a motherfucker. So
See,
hey.
we can cut all this shit out.
Oh yeah, on the feedback. But you know
Yeah.
what? We got Goomson. I want to say peace and happiness to everybody. We got Goomson of the Inner Realms, and we got my co-host Boogie. We got Mad Wave. Shout out to Big Weeze. I'm coming out of Cincinnati. Everybody come from a different place. Tune in from wherever the fuck you from, and let's have a good show.
Yeah, man. And then we got Mad Ways up. What's good? What the fuck? There we go. I see this shit suck. I
Yo.
can't wait for this to be a train wreck tomorrow.
What it
Oh my
fucking do,
God.
Boogie? What up, G Dash? Big Weeze, we B-Boys Underground, everybody in the chat, man. We got Goomson of the Inner Realms in the house, man. You fucking know what it is. We 5150 family, motherfuckers. Let's get it. Real shit. Hey,
Absolutely.
I'm excited to have him here. He's fucking
Hell
dope
yeah.
as fuck, bro.
Yeah,
He's,
thank you guys for having me, man.
yeah,
And last but certainly not least, of course, the one and only mighty Goomson. What's goody, man? Welcome to B-Boys Underground,
What
fam.
up, guys? How's everything going, y'all?
I think you can see how it's going, man, because we've
Yeah,
had some
yeah.
technical difficulties and your boy's stressed out right now. So,
Ah,
but
man,
thank
don't
you
let it
for.
get too
I
much.
We gonna run it.
apologize. I apologize, but thank you
No worries.
for being here, fam.
Tell them about that background. I mean, just
Yeah,
to
that's what we're saying. Look
start
at those
different.
records
Start with the background. The background is dope.
and
Oh, yeah,
tapes.
Just the spot, where I create at. Just sit here, post it, and make beats,
Man,
Alright. That's what's up.
so check it out, man. First off, gotta say, when I was doing my research, y'all are in for a treat, man. Y'all getting ready to hear some real underground hip hop beats, some real dope shit, man. And salute to you and shout out to the tapes, man. The first thing, if y'all click the links in the description of this video, there's a link to all of his in the Inner Realms merch. You can get the Bandcamp through Bandcamp. They're selling cassettes though. You can still get a cassette tape, and you got
Hell
those
yeah.
stacks of cassettes back there, man.
Hell yeah.
You can still get a cassette tape and get a digital download and
and
support.
get a vinyl.
Yeah,
And get a
dropped
vinyl.
raps, too.
You
I've
you
done
got some
CDs.
hats too? You got some hats?
Yeah, we
on
did
there?
some hats not too long ago. Like a
Hell
week,
yeah, you
week
got-
or
you
two
got
ago, I did some hats.
He got some merch. You rocking one right now, right? I
Hell
see
yeah,
that.
I
Hell yeah,
represent, you
rep
know?
that shit. We got to zoom
Dope.
on that. Let's go.
There it is. There
Hell
it
yeah.
is.
Bop bop.
And I
Pick
see
up
the
your-
rain
Pick
and
up
the
your
MP.
Inner Realms, motherfucker. It's a
yeah.
snapback.
No
Hell
doubt.
yeah, let's get it.
So check it out, man.
I'll put the link up right now in the chat, bro, and share it with everybody too.
Oh, word.
Beautiful.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So check this out. What I want to do is, we start out with the same question for everyone, and the same question is this, man. What I want to know is, could you please tell us, what is the very first memory that you have associated with hip hop? Like, if you think back when you were a kid, and the very first time that you heard hip hop music, I want you to take me back to that space, that time, that go back in your mind. Tell me what's
Yeah.
cooking on the stove, all of that. I want to know all of that. What's your first memory associated, and what song, what artist?
Yeah, no doubt. I know I'm 10 years younger than both, about 10 years.
We lost your mic.
Yeah, it looks like he might have froze, right?
He froze out.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
sounding. It was
StreamYards.
sounding. It was sounding good too.
StreamYard. Either way, check this out, man. I'm gonna take a shout out to the folks that's tuned in live. We got G Lover in the house. What's goody?
Boop.
We got Birdie in the house. What's goody? We've got, of course, our co-host
GMC.
Wheeze
Wheeze
McGee in
in
the
the house.
house. Big Wheeze. What's good?
Trans Rocket, what's up, my brother?
Yes, Trans Rocket. We have, let's see here. Who else? Yes, GMC Texas. What's goody? And Cost David. What's goody?
Yes. Yeah.
So once we get the homie back and he joins us, we'll get him back on. But everybody tuning in live, don't forget to hit all the like, subscribe, all notification bell on YouTube, on Twitch. We're Ghost Boogie 66. It's twitch.tv, Ghost Boogie 66, youtube.com, B-Boys Underground. Facebook, we have a group and a page. We're streaming live from our page right now, and that's B-Boys Underground as well. You can check us out on our socials, B-Boys Underground on Instagram, and each of us have our own IGs as well. And tap in, follow. That's how you can stay tuned and up to date. You had a performance this past weekend, Mad Ways. Tell us about how that went.
Oh, I was about to segue.
Now, what was that beat? Who made that beat? What was that?
That was G Dash Fresh.
What cornball made that beat? That beat was whack. Actually, no, it was fire. That was I love that. And when as soon as I seen it on Instagram, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, his internet went down. He's said he'll tap back in shortly.
Okay.
But yeah, it was fucking dope, bro. Like, I think I ended up rocking like close to 1 a.m. It was dope. Me and
you in the meat of the show. So
me and my son definitely fucking.
I was about to
put it
say,
down.
how was it rocking with your son? So
Well, that was
like
that was the second time we rocked. He rocked with me when we opened up for Killer Priest, so that was dope. But
Word.
That was his first time rocking, and he was a little bit, a little stiff, a little nervous. This time, he definitely held his shit down.
Hey, you wasn't stiff. You was like, yeah. Hey, son, rock with me.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Cloak.
The whole internet just shut the fuck down. But
We live. We here.
Word,
What's
word.
goody?
Is
So
the
yes,
audio-
tell me
is
about.
the audio still good?
We're good. We're good.
Yes,
the
you're perfect.
audio.
You're perfect.
I thought you, like, when you dropped, it was just your mic dropped. We're good.
No,
So-
I just reset to get back in. But we're
Take us back to that
I heard
space, man.
Yeah. So I had two older brothers, about 10 years apart. I remember, they would play some shit that I would it was a couple things. It was like Limp Bizkit and Eminem, but I wasn't really into that production or that sound really, and I only caught glimpses of it. So that I've heard that, but then I remember drawing like Wu-Tang like symbols and shit when I was in like elementary school, because I seen that shit too in the things. I never knew what it was, I didn't get to hang out with my brothers too much, so I've heard those small glimpses. And then there was a track that was playing that really, where I got hooked, was Gangstars Above the Clouds. That was, I must have been like 5, when I heard that shit. And at the time, I thought that was Wu-Tang because that's the CDs I saw and shit, and that's the symbol I was always drawing. And then, a couple years later, I started doing research and getting into it and shit. But it's like the first little taste of hip hop I got was that I actually liked was the Gangstars Above the Clouds.
Damn, can't beat that. I mean, that's a good way to
I
start.
love that track. I love that track.
Man,
It's one of my
that
favorite
was.
Black Guns.
You see my head now that's fire.
It was a cool track.
And it had
get introduced to.
it had Inspector Deck on there? Who was on that?
Shit, I don't know.
It was one of the Wu-Tang cats on it.
Probably either
One-
him or You God, maybe.
Above the Clouds.
I think.
No,
I think
that is Inspector Deck.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
No doubt. That would make sense to why I probably thought that was Wu-Tang back then.
Yeah. 'cause
Because
when you said
it was
Yeah.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
But Guru, yeah. And that beat.
Rest in
So
peace.
did you
That's
like that?
Primo.
Did you like that beat and that would grab your
I
attention
don't know.
span?
I think the introduction of it is what, like, where I was like, the fuck, And that's where I put, like, where I discovered the genre of hip hop and shit, is at that moment when I put it together.
Yeah. Good starting point.
Real quick, G Dash. I put his Bandcamp link in the YouTube, but it modded me. It won't let me because it's a link.
I got it.
whoever's a mod on there.
Put it in a private chat for me right quick, fam.
I
Yeah,
put it
we,
right here.
we'll slap
I
it
just
back.
put it
I
on the
can't-
Twitch chat right there too.
Yeah, I'm tapping
Oh,
in.
there
Can
you
you put
go.
it in the
It
private
went,
chat for me?
It's,
it
I
went
put it
through.
on the Twitch, but not on the
Fam,
YouTube.
It's there.
Just put it in a private chat for me, and I'll take care of it. Yeah, I got it. Like, because I can't copy and paste from this. Yeah,
I can, so I got it. Like it's.
but you
that-
can't push
It's
everything
there
out.
already.
I got it.
Goomson put it there. It's good.
Word.
I got it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, above the clouds,
Who the hell is this?
Gangstar, right?
Yeah.
What was the next step from that? Like, you know, when you heard that song, take me to like where you started, where you went from there. What was the next step? Like, where did you start listening, or who did you start listening to, or what did you start gravitating to in
You know,
regards to?
I can't remember like if I even stayed invested more into hip hop at that age. You know what I mean? That was I was like 5 to 7 years old at the time, but I do. From there, it just became. So I started making music, just with like my mom's ex-husband had a guitar and shit. So then I would like play with that, but I couldn't figure that shit out. So I ended up getting like a drum set, and then but we never had anything to record. So I didn't get back really to the hip hop shit till like my brother started making his own beats and stuff. So then I started getting back into hip hop and listening to things. But I would say from there, like I was just getting put onto like some ill shit at that time. It was a lot more not so mainstream like things. We listened to like, of course, a lot of Wu-Tang, but there was like I was starting to get into like Black Moon and DITC, and then shit, there was like Chaotix and just like a lot of just so much shit. I don't know how I gravitate like the beat shit. It just got, you know what I mean? Started I don't even know
So-
when I started getting into that. Like I'm trying to look.
Yeah,
I've been
no,
doing
I'm
this so
just trying to-
fucking long,
What I
trying
want to
to
know is
get
like,
back to
who would you say like is the producer, the person that that you appreciate the most, or that you appreciated the most coming up, that you were listening to, or the style, if above the clouds, I'm definitely, and listening to your music is
Yeah.
definitely that boom bap, right?
Yeah. I think I gravitated far away from that. Like my idols is not who I looked up to, like, or I wanted to like hone their style or take from theirs and try to make bits and pieces here and there. It was more so like my influences around me, like the style of beats that heads were making around me. Like when I met MOD, and then all the heads in the desert that were doing the hip hop shit. There's a few names, So that's like kind of where I started, like I got that influence, like a real underground influence, and that's what like made me more fan of hip hop, was being with individuals that are doing some ill shit already. So those who I looked up to, because they're all like 10 years older than me at the time too. So that's who I looked up to as far as doing music and shit, and what made me want to keep making this style of hip hop and shit.
Hey,
And you
we'd like
mentioned-
to- oh,
Go
my
ahead.
bad.
Go
I
ahead.
just want to. I just want to interact because Weez asked a question. He said, this might be jumping ahead a little bit. What's your first piece of equipment you used to produce your first beat? That's probably really jumping ahead, but
It was no, we can get there. Yeah, no doubt. It was my brother's, like I think it was a Roland 808 or
okay.
something. It was something Roland. It had a bunch of sounds already loaded onto it.
Okay.
So I didn't have much fun doing that shit. So that's like I would like was like, I'm not like I don't really know music theory as far as like the tones and shit like that. I can't like
Mhm.
pick up or play a piano or make it sound. I just know how to blend samples really good over beats and shit. So when I discovered that, that's when I stepped into MOD's spot as a Master Cypher Divine, is when I got blown away, because I thought hip hop. When I met him I was like 13 or 15, around there, and I thought hip hop was made with live instruments. It is in a sense, because you're
Interesting.
sampling, but I thought they had full bands and shit at that age. until I went into his spot. You know, my brother took me over there, and I was like, oh shit, like my mind was blown. You know, he was already playing a beat, made that shit off some wax, and I was just that was it for me. You know, I fucking took every last dollar I had and went and bought like a legit setup to start making.
What was it?
beats.
What'd you buy?
I got a Technique 1200 and a Vestax, and then I got me a MPC 1000,
Ooh.
and then you know, I think I got everything in like a year's time when I was about like 15, 17, you know.
Got you.
But I was
So
already making like some kind of whatever beats before then. But
how
once
were
I
you doing
started
that?
Sampling. What was that?
So what were you using to before you bought that whole setup? Like
Oh,
what was it that you were
was just
using?
on my brother's rolling, you know.
Just on that
Yeah,
rolling.
yeah, just on that, and then yeah, that was really it. I think I was messing around on like some computer software or something. It might have been like an iPad or the computer. I can't remember, like bouncing back and forth. But
Word. That's dope. But you went out and bought the legit setup. Like,
well,
you know,
yeah,
you went and got a Vestax, got a fucking 1200 and a MPC. Like, you're like, let's go.
yeah. I think I got like I think my brother gave me like a Newmark deck, and then I was like, like I want to get, you know, the real shit. So I think my first deck that I bought was the standard Technic 1200, the hip hop silver and shit.
Hell yeah, bro.
Silver. Ooh.
Just like
Ooh.
it wasn't the black one. It was
MK2.
Yeah,
Just a standard MK2.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I still rock my originals to this day, man. I love them. I mean, they make a lot of different colors and everything like that, and they have all the different, you know, gold and whatever. Like, I'm sorry, for me, the classic is just that's the look for me right there.
Yeah, I upgraded to like an MK7 like a year and a half ago, but
Those are nice. They're great, man. What do you think
I
about
just wanted
those?
to get a brand new one, you know.
Have you seen those new Pioneers, the hybrids?
I don't know. I haven't. I'm kind of content with what I have. I don't want to look and start wanting new shit, you know.
They have new toys every single fucking year.
I
So
know,
yeah,
that's right.
man.
Oh
My
yeah,
pockets can't
you
keep
can
up.
get yeah, you gonna get broke on can't try to keep up with the
Stay
Joneses.
broke. Stay
That's like
broke.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
I'm finally at a position where I feel like I don't need anything else, you know. I felt like that for the last
Feel
few
like you
years,
got your
honestly.
groove on what you
Yeah,
can
like,
do with what you
Got
have.
what you need.
yeah.
Pretty much.
I do, however, want to upgrade to like a Rossum, like a SP 1200 sometime this year, though. Try to, you know, cop that shit.
I do want to ask this. Here's another question from Weeze, our co-host. He said, "Who's your biggest influence in the industry and why? Who do you model yourself after?"
Biggest influence like in the hip hop industry. Shit, man. Like, before I started dropping projects, I would say like, I don't know. There'd probably be some heads I looked up to, but now that I feel like I'm a part of this shit, and I can stand with those dudes. So my biggest influence today is just like the people I work with, and you know, the projects we're able to create, to put out. That's really the only shit that's on my mind, is to make like these tapes bang and shit, you know, and really sound original, you know, like bringing back that originality. I just have to say, like, the current heads I'm building with, and everybody that's in the, you know, that reps the inner realms and shit,
That boom bap shit, yeah.
is like, we're you know, just like a bunch of real like crate diggers, and you know what I mean, like real hip hop heads and shit that we know we all have the same viewpoint in this shit. So
Man, that's good to work with when everybody's on the same path and like
yeah,
we
it's
our heads
dude,
do this at the same time. Like
yeah,
yeah.
it's hard to be influenced by some of the OGs today, because you know, like, sometimes, you know, they're saying like you don't want to meet your idols and shit, because when you do, they're just shit on you, you know. And I've experienced that a lot. And
You have. So
and
you
I'm
have
just
had
like,
that experience.
all the time, you know. And I'm like, yo, like, I bang out better projects than a lot of these heads today, and I'm not trying to take that from them, but there's got to be that level of respect on a
Hmm.
hip hop aspect. So, you know what I mean? And like, you know, when I get
Well
into
said.
spots, that's why I don't really like going out and doing shows and shit. Like, it's cool like to get out, but it's just weird, when it's like, damn, we got some hip hop shit here too, like we're dropping wax, we're original, just killing shit. So
Absolutely. Yo, and then getting back to like the production and everything
yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
have, right? I want to know like what was the first time that you ever had a chance to really get and work on a bigger project? Like, what was your first time that you had an opportunity to, like, all right, you'd been making everything, you'd been bubbling, and then the first time you had to step out of your circle, right? Like, and you had
Yeah,
an
yeah.
opportunity to work.
There's a there's one of my brothers is Grim Moses. He's out in Arizona, and he's used to be a part of this group that was signed to Baby Grand called the Society of Invisibles. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they used to tour with like Sean P and like Immortal Technique, Vinny
Hmm.
Paz.
Hmm.
Um, this I believe that was like early 2000s. Um, but I had hit up. I reached out to him around 2015 or 16, and then I gave him a bunch of beats, and then he started dropping his verses on the tracks, and then we created something. But I wasn't like at a spot or in my mind even to drop like a physical. I wasn't there yet. I didn't. I was a lot younger too, so I didn't really have the money to put into shit like that. Until around like 2018, 19, when I linked back up with MOD, we did that first cassette tape together. He's already dropped shit on physicals, but when we linked up, that was my first real physical pro dubbed, and it was fat, So that shit just made me want to drop more, and then continue from there.
When I say physicals, you actually talking about somebody actually had pressed up a record or even CD at that point in time.
Yeah, yeah, right
I
around.
just want to make it
Yeah,
clear
yeah,
for
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
else. When you
Physicals.
say I dropped some physicals,
Yeah, yeah. Physicals are
people,
yeah. Cassette tapes, CDs.
yeah, something like
Wax.
you can hold in your hand
Yeah,
before all
yeah.
this MP3 and
Yep.
digital stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
for
just
sure.
want everybody to know what he said when he said we dropped some
Nope.
physicals.
No
I
doubt.
like that. I've never heard it put that way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what's
Well,
up.
yeah. I'd have to say that SP 1000 project that we worked on was probably like the biggest project I've done to get to the point we are now. That's
Mm.
what sparked the run.
I love how you took the album artwork and merged the Roland and
Yeah,
the MP
that was
together. That's
MOD's
dope.
idea. We didn't know, like we were just starting to link up, and we like the beats happened in like a few weeks. We had everything. That actually he sent me drums and I laid the samples down, and then vice versa. I sent him the drums and he laid the samples down, and then we had a homie DJ Rich Rock lay some cuts on some of it. But yeah, that like the blend. He made all his beats on a. It was that SP. I can't remember. It's that small looking box. It kind of looks like an MPC 1000. I think it's like
Oh,
a 505. I think SP 505.
yeah, I know. I I've played with one at my homie's
Yeah.
store that he has one at their sale.
Hell
Music
yeah.
go round. Yeah.
So he just did that, and then took some buttons and laid it on that, and then we did the spine as the back, and then the bottom piece is like the bottom of the MPC. But I think we
Yeah.
we what's funny is we did that shit, and I haven't really seen it like that before. And then I like Strictly Cassettes came out with a tape similar later on. I mean that's probably gonna happen, but it's pretty like looks like a common easy concept to do.
Dope. I got a question for you.
Oh yeah,
There's a problem in hip hop that we have now. Hip hop's now over 50 years old. Um, so we're battling ageism now, right? And there's old heads that don't respect the new heads. There's new heads that don't respect the old heads. There's old heads that do and don't. Like, I want to know, like, what do you, as a young person, in hip hop, right? Um, how do you feel about the whole age versus like what do you feel like with these old heads saying like, oh, these young cats don't know real hip hop, blah blah blah, they're whack. Because I mean, you hear that a lot, like hip hop is dead and all of this shit, and they think hip hop is just mumble rap, like is the like what they're hearing on the radio, and not even realizing that the world exists, that
Yeah,
there's so
yeah.
much more, right? So what, how do you feel
Right.
as a young person in hip hop, the state of it?
See, I've always built with like older heads, so I have an older mentality. The for me at least, the age thing doesn't like play a factor in the respect aspect of like, oh, like, yeah, I think it's more of like how the younger generation watered down the hip hop. You know what I mean? That's like the line right there for the older heads. You know, in the way they like navigate the game today, like with the social media and how they promo their shit, or you know how they just made a it's a just they watered it down, you know. So I respectively, like, how I can understand how the older heads will shit on that, and then also roll with the times to continue making their paper and shit too, you know. Seen a lot of
And
that's the weird shit to me is um I don't like for me, I don't do this shit to like make money or to like for the fame or trying to blow up or nothing. Don't get me wrong, that'll be nice, but
enjoyment.
I just, yeah, I come in here to get away, you know, and just chill out and create, you know, just it's an escape for me, and it's taken me pretty far for what I want out of it, you know, like to be able to drop physicals around the world and shit. But it's just it's just weird. It's hard to say because they just I I don't have like the same mind frame as the younger generation that's doing hip hop that all wants it for the fame and the money and shit. You know, you got a person trying to drop one track and like pump that one track like crazy to, you know, on like a mumble rap tip and shit to because that's what the younger, you know, I don't know. We just got a lot of crazy. The younger generation is crazy right now because they're just wilding on a whole different level. You know, like the
Let me
drugs and
let me say something. I said
crazy
the
shit.
industry was really keen on this. I mean, because I run a record pool, and it really got to the point where everything was copycat. Back in the day, we
Yeah,
called it biting.
yeah, yeah,
So as
yeah,
soon as somebody hits, I need a song just like that. I said, so
yeah,
like, hold on, you're not looking for the next person to do the new song. You
yeah.
want something
Exactly.
just to copy what just sold 1,000 records. So that oversaturates. So once you say that, you got 1,000 people giving you the same song,
Oh yeah, yeah. And
and it was like, oh, I want to do that, do that. I was like,
yeah,
oh, and once they break through, they're like, oh, well, he made money. I'm gonna make money too. I'm gonna do the same thing.
yeah. You know, actually, there was a time my beats were kind of on some Griselda shit before they even surfaced as a thing.
Interesting.
You know, I had a lot slower beats in that kind of form, but
Word.
I saw that shit taking off, and I didn't want to be a part of it because I knew I was
You
already
said I'm out.
too
I'm doing
far
it. I'm going
behind
to the next.
to for the shit to blow up, to where I'm like, nah, let me just not let me pull myself out of this, you know, and just go another lane and shit, you know,
Man,
and
y'all hear what he just said? That's
craft a
dope. He said,
different,
man, I
you know,
want to be myself. I don't want to be part of.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
there's a
I
whole
want.
wave.
I'm like, ah, okay. So I'm doing something like that. I'm moving on to the next.
Yeah,
That's
there's
dope.
a whole wave of heads that sound like Griselda. Yeah, it's still going on right now, you know,
Yeah.
and it's I mean, if that's what they want, get out of it and they enjoy that shit, I'm not taking that from them. But I'm not trying to go a route that people are already doing and shit to create a name and shit. You know?
Blaze your own path.
Yeah, yeah,
Speak
cause yeah, uh,
Speaking of originality, like what? Tell me, because you said you like to get in there, you like the vibe, you like to create and do it. Like, walk me through your process. Like, what does it look like when you sit down and you create? Like, do you have a certain like routine in how you dig, or like how you start to put your stuff together? Like, is there any in your thought process when you start to create?
well, I'd say like coming up more before I had my daughter, I was digging all the time. You know, I was just going everywhere to dig. Had a lot of time, you know, and then as I got older, I got a better job and shit. And then I had my daughter, so the routine I used to have is nothing like it is today. Cause I'll get in here and I'll start working on a beat, but then I gotta go do some dad duties and shit. So it's like it's a constant like mind battle to stay in the mindset of creating. But
Mm.
when I get in here though, and if I get the time, I just go find drums, start there. And then at least if I don't get nothing that night, or if I gotta go do some shit, I got drums ready to go on the box. And then I'll just start digging around with samples. I'm not going for like a particular sound or like a vibe. I just let the music take me there and shit, and see
Man, that's dope.
where we're gonna go.
That's dope. It's like you don't know what you're gonna do until you hear it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like you just let the music
Yep.
lead you.
And there's a lot of sounds that like there's a lot of little mini beats I'll make till I find the one I want out of it. The one that I'm like, all right, this all sounds good. Then I got like a whole library of sounds I just took too that I can go back to and see if they work on the main shit that I found.
Let me ask you this as a producer. Do you have like the throwaway beats that you were like, yeah, this ain't that tight. But
Yeah,
somebody in there coming like, yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
fire.
I got a bunch of them. Yeah, I got a bunch, but I don't think like they don't fit on projects for me. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they're good to just listen to, but I wouldn't like want to put them on a project.
Mm.
But I think everybody that makes beats has a lot of those too.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
I literally got stories of people that.
Yeah.
So I was doing 5 beats a day, right? Somebody
Yup.
come in and like, yeah, next beat, next beat.
I
Then,
think they're dope once they're dated. Like
Mm.
well, like yo, these are like 5 years old, and then all right, those are ill for if they're 5 years old. But
yeah,
if
because
I were to play them right now, then it's like, yeah, it's all right.
it loops back around. But
Yeah.
then like my brother, he was like, hey man, he like came on. I had to turn the compressor on the studio because record people.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I smoked my weed. I was eating my pizza. I was chilling. He was like, man, I want to record this right now. I said, whose beat is it? He says, your beat. And I had to dig up. I said, 5 years ago, and you poo-pooed on it when you first heard it.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, it's fire now because he was rolling around with my old beat CD.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love that as a producer, like that you could do something and somebody, because you might be ahead of your process.
Yeah. For sure. When I hear old beats, it's a whole different style from what I make like present.
Hmm I
It's
mean, you learn things.
yeah. It's yeah. You for sure do. It's just a weird. I don't. It's just I don't know. It's kind of you get bored of doing the same thing, so then you start adding a little more to the arsenal. But I feel like I've kind of hit like where I'm comfortable at. Like I don't want to learn more, and I don't want to do less than what I'm doing.
Well
Gooms,
said.
Goomson, I have a question.
Yeah.
So how many projects have you put out? That have you pressed out? And every project you drop, you will drop on vinyl and on tape and
Yeah. So from 2015 to like 2018, I had a few digital drops I did on Bandcamp.
okay.
And then 2019 is when the physical run started till now. Is everything I drop I want to put on something that we can ship or out. So um, it'd be like I'm trying to do for physicals. It's for sure over like anywhere from 10 to 18.
Yeah,
I can't remember every one of. I'd have to pull
and,
them
and
out.
everything is strictly beat tapes, or you have a couple artists you're working with, or
So mainly everything's beat tapes, and then we've done a couple things with MCs on them. Like we dropped a 45 with an MC on it, Steve Colossal and Mi from Constant Deviance on
Mm.
a J Vision beat.
I'm hip to constant deviance.
But
Okay.
that's like as far as anything physical went out on our end with the MCs, and I've dropped on other people's physicals releases that have have verses on my beats with other people's production as well. It's like Grim Moses, Pause One. Um, it's got to be a couple more. I don't really work with too many MCs because I don't like waiting on shit to come
On
back.
this
Mm.
on the vinyl that's sitting right here behind us,
Yeah,
you have some MCs on the song, don't you? Or
yeah. So
what's it?
I reached out. I linked up with Surrealist
Okay.
about
Shout out to
like
Surrealist.
like
I'm hip to him
two.
too.
Wow, salute.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
hip to him.
big up Surrealist. Um, I had sent like some shit to Foo's Gone Wild like 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, something like a long ass time ago, and he had emailed me like a year ago from that shit, or I
Yeah.
think he hit me up on Instagram and was like, "Is this you?" and showed me the beat, and I'm like, "Yo, I don't even remember sending this to you," And he's like, "Oh, it came from this. It was from that account," and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, now I remember." And then we kind of just stayed in touch, but there was nothing really at the time. We were both kind of busy, so we didn't really work. But then when we did Mass Collide, I asked him if him and Veil 9 wanted to jump on the project, and they were down. So I just, when I had it all done, I just told them to pick a beat that they like, instead of
For
just
sure.
saying, "Hey, get on this beat." I, had them pick a beat
Word.
they were comfortable with.
Hell yeah, that's
I
dope.
think that's dope. I think that's dope. Where
Yeah,
you like,
shout,
yeah,
shout
push
out, shout out, shout out to both of them too.
Yeah, big up Surrealist and Veil 9.
Big up.
Yeah, I don't really know him personally, but at Back to Basics, he pulled up on me for a shot of the beard. You know
Oh
what
hell
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah, no,
So, yeah.
I haven't gotten up with them in the physical yet, but we for sure talked a few times and shit here and there.
Yeah, for sure.
If I lived in the area, for sure, I'd be probably chilling with more heads.
Yeah,
So
It's a
you
mission for me.
being in the Mojave, right? So like, are
I was
you up?
I was born and raised in the Mojave. I'm like an hour and a half now from Mojave Desert,
Where are you at now?
Murrieta.
Got you. Where is that in relation?
It's like it's right in the middle of Los Angeles and San Diego.
Got
This
it.
place called Riverside County.
Mhm.
It's like
I know.
that's the county that it's in.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like an
Is
hour.
that like around
hour and a half.
Fontana, or is
Yeah,
that
it's
east?
it's yeah,
Past
it's,
it,
it's
right?
past,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's
yeah.
not too far from Fontana, Corona,
Gotcha.
Rancho Cucamonga, and all that.
I used to go out there for the races.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. it's
You
nice
said
out
you
there.
racist. You said you racist.
No. Go out for the races, NASCAR races. Watch
Hey,
race
and
car
anybody talking about
drivers.
we can't see our heads because we.
I used
said
to
hip hop.
I
Go ahead.
my bad. I used to be out of Marietta to pick up cars for the homie at the
Oh, yeah.
auction. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But somebody
I'm
in
from the
chat said,
desert.
"You're like we can't see y'all heads. Hip hop is hats. That's part of your culture. That's part of the clothing. Is part of hip hop. So we rocking hats. It says fresh here. My shirt says
I'm bald, son, so it don't even matter.
I'm
I
bald
shave all
too.
my stuff.
My shit says
Nice.
squeeze, homie. So squeeze. Squeeze.
And I'm gray,
Shout
so
out to
I mean,
Psycholeasy.
I'm getting ready to have my 49th birthday this weekend. So
Oh,
salute
word
to
up.
that. Get
Happy
yourself.
early
Hey,
birthday,
look,
yo, word.
fight. You're gonna when you start having to fight to stay alive, then you're gonna be appreciating that you're an
Appreciate
old
that
head.
age.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I'll appreciate being an old head, but
It happens eventually.
it happens to all of us.
If
when
you're
you
still
die.
living. Yeah.
No, but you being separated from and like being out in the Mojave, right? And growing up, and then even where you're at now, and being that far away from. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Like being that far away from the scene, the spot, that's got to shape like
You guys
kind of
can hear
your
me still?
sound. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, Ghost Boogie lagged out.
Oh.
Oh, there
Did
we
I
go.
lag out?
Nah, we here.
Yeah.
We can hear.
Go ahead and repeat your question, please.
So you can hear me now.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So like being out there in a remote, like how you put together your beats and everything, right? And craft your sound. Like how do you network? I mean, being online, it's the internet's got to make it a whole lot easier and stuff like that. But how does that shape your sound and also like how you get down and who you get down with?
I mean, it's like the heads that I was around in the desert. It's a small area. There's like a lot of like dope heads out there because of it's a small spot. So everybody's kind of like to themselves, and there's a lot of originality out of the desert. And a lot of things they do. There's still like real mechanics out in the desert. There's like dope graffiti artists out there, and they're just like it's that. At least that's what it was when I was growing up. But when I don't know, yeah, when I got out here, it's like it's still over the internet, but it's hard to navigate and work with heads over the internet because everybody sends everybody shit, and it might be a lot of whack shit. So when you come time to try to link up with somebody, they don't even check you out, because they're like they've struck out too many times. So
Mm.
that's why I've stuck with MOD for a long time,
Wow.
just doing beats, because we're on the same mindset, to keep cranking shit out. So even a lot of the heads in the desert that we know, they I don't know, they lost their love for it, or I don't know, they just, a lot of those heads turn their back on hip hop shit, and it's
Mm.
kind of a shame, because they're real dope. They
Yeah.
really had like a real ill style, whether they made beats or they MC and shit. It's just kind of crazy. Wish they would have stayed a little longer in the shit, because then we could have had a lot doper scene going on for what we're doing. But it's all
Mm.
good. We do what we do, and it's like we don't network too much with heads. It's like there's not too many heads out there that do the same style of, that just going back to originality. Just want to work with heads that have the same mindset on shit. And that's
And
hard
what
to
is
come
that
by, because
mindset?
just doing it for the love of
Yeah.
hip hop. They're not trying to get anything else out of it. They're just contributing to it. They're not trying to get from hip hop. They're giving to hip hop.
Amen to that.
Ooh, I want to say because like your style of music is, which we got old school agree,
Yeah.
adult contemporary hip hop, which is not a age, it's not ageism, it's a style of music where
Yeah.
like when you hear it, it's that boom bap that so even though like you're obviously younger from some of your you made us feel old some of the things you said, but
Yeah,
at
I
the
know,
same
I know.
time your spirit is like right there with when I discovered hip hop.
Yeah.
How do you keep up with I mean, you just kind of described it. um what I don't want this to be a shock question, but what does bother you in hip hop right now?
Um, what it used to bother me, just heads like not understanding um what you're supposed to get out of this. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
they're doing this shit for the wrong reasons, and that shit used to bug me a lot, because it's like, yo, like, it's not that hard just to do you and just try to, like, what do heads get from sounding like others and wanting to be like others? Like, I get it's an inspiration, but that's something I feel you should keep to yourself.
I have a question for you that to kind of build off of that. What do you attribute? Um, because you think about only thing that the labels are pushing is the same sound, right? So you've got the labels, the majors, absolutely conditioning the youth to thinking that this is the sound, right? And this is the way, and this is the path that's going to get play and get you viral and you know on the Super Bowl or whatever. It's just do you blame the labels or do you blame it on the artists, or where do you even view
Good,
the labels, like with
good
the
question.
in the current climate, because they're scrambling right now to
Right.
really make money, right? And AI is here, right? And they're really talking about and doing and trying to create and figure out ways to get these AI artists, he lagged out, these AI artists out here, and
I
that's
want
a
to hear
good
the
thing.
answer, but I like from the record pool standpoint, they really started chasing. They stopped playing A&R and they started playing like, oh, let's find the next hit. So if that's the only way you're gonna get signed, that's what people started to. Oh, let's make a hit to sound like that. When
My
Tupac
bad, yo, this
passed,
fucking
no,
internet
you
thing.
good, you good. Go
Here,
go
wait.
ahead.
You're good, bro.
No, you guys can finish. My bad.
Oh, when I got to the point where everybody after Tupac died, everybody sounded like Tupac. And I mean,
Yeah.
I really said something foul to one of these dudes. I mean, you can all hear it so much. I said, so what is the record mute? And the
Yeah.
dude said, man, that's foul. I
Yeah.
said, man, I said, if I had a nickel for every time somebody, I said, why can't it be the next whoever they are and not the next Tupac? I said,
Yeah.
that ain't how the hip hop was. You're supposed to forward the game and not just copy the game. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. I mean, you see that shit like with this Griselda movement. Like, when that shit first came out, it was hard. I'm not gonna front that sound was it was new and it was hard. But it just like how like it keeps going, and then it just kind of gets like, it's like redundant, and it's all right, like, then people just water down their style so much as far as a beat maker, where they're just gonna loop 2 bars and that's it, and they're not gonna
Mm.
do anything else to that. But that was like going on in the 90s too. But that shit was just, there was people were really pulling apart samples and shit. They were really crafting beats. So I can't front on what that shit was back then. But it's just continues getting watered down today, as
I
far
would
as
say this.
sound.
I think you said something really important because I just worked on the beat. I was like, so as a producer, you got people that want two loops and then a hook
Yeah,
and that's it. I mean, like I'll be like, I got 18 parts that I gotta take out
yeah,
to dumb myself down to give you music.
yup.
So, how do you, when you start feeling something, you just give it to them raw, or you do like three different versions? Because I literally have three different versions of beats. How do you?
No, that's part of like the whole going through the sounds all the way to the final product. I have little beats that are cool beats, but I go in and I want something more out of it. It's like, all right, that wasn't enough. It wasn't fulfilling, until I
Mm,
find that, and then that's kind of where I get in that process right there. I don't have like different versions of the beats. I don't know if you're saying like if you had like if they're all kind of different genres of hip hop, or if they're all like you might did it just
no, I'll
chop
say
it up
like
differently.
I'll listen to a song and it's got like all these pieces.
Oh yeah,
Hey, Goomson got some. He got some reels for us. He didn't say some quotables on this show.
yeah. Word up.
Thank you, bro. Man, he's like he really understands the questions and the way he didn't say some quotables. But yeah, I mean like so I might get stuck where I want to dumb the beat down, but it's like I listen to the whole record that I'm sampling from,
Yeah,
and I want to. Ooh, I say, ooh, this be like to me, it's a different song sometimes.
yeah. You gotta
And then
you gotta just like make that beat right there, and then move on. And then like that's what I do when it comes to, you know what I mean. I get on something, I'm like, all right, save it, and then just start over. If it's kind of holding you back a little bit, or if you don't know where to stop at, you know, or maybe just skip up those samples too for later, come back to them and shit.
another quotable, because I mean sometimes it will make your you'll make your mind go mad. Like it's so much. It's like it's an orgy of music, and you're like, no, let me
Yeah,
just find a sweet spot, and
yeah, and
then if I come back.
your vibe might not even be there that day. You might not
Mhm.
even might not hear it the same as you would on a different day.
And that's true. I wanted to ask you, like, how much does your mood impact what you're making in your creative process? Because, for me, I use my creativity and what I do to get out stress, right?
Yeah, this
To
is
work out some things.
it's the same form. I think that's why I went so hard when I was younger, is because I had things that I was dealing with. With
Mm.
growing up and shit. Parents and all sorts of shit. So um, that's where it really is, getting into the lab, and then I could be upset and shit, get in here and start working on a beat, and then that's like, you might hear a darker beat, or you might hear, you could tell every time you play a beat where I kind of was at in a style or in a vibe.
Hell yeah, man.
Mhm.
Where do you go to dig? Where do you get your records? Where do you get, like, curate your samples? Like, do you have a.
Well, yeah, before
Do,
my daughter was born, I was going like Salvation Armies, Goodwills, mom and pop thrift stores, and anywhere I could go to get a record. And at back then it was a lot cheaper, and it's just like a lot more accessible. You go to the thrift stores, there's like dollar records. I don't even think they have dollar bins anymore. It's like $5 bins in California, and that's just took like the fun out of digging, is having to spend more money for records. You used to be able to go take a whole stack out for like $100, but $100 would maybe only get you 5 to 10 records these days. And I still dig off Discogs, because that's more easier for me in
hmm.
this state of life.
You do go digging off of Discogs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's like, I still get that from there, and I would rather do that, because you could get, I don't need the best piece, like the best like grade of vinyl. I just need, if as long as it plays and it plays decent, I'm it's a good price, I'll cop it. But
You
I'd
sound
say
like bacon.
after, what was that? What was that?
It can sound like bacon.
Yeah, yeah,
When
yeah.
you put that, sometimes
Yeah.
that's an effect people actually want to add it to their records, like want it
And
to sound
that's
like it's a
that
record.
shit to me used to be corny. When heads would add that dust to their records,
Add the
because
add the extra. I hated
yeah,
that,
like
and I always hated that
if
shit.
they didn't sample wax, and then they would just go add the wax to the beat and shit. So
Yeah, man, come on now.
yeah, it's you know. But
You
I'd
need
say
it the
as of recently,
authentic.
like the last few years, I've just been digging because it's easier for me. I have a 3 hour commute every day, so that takes my time. Then
Woo
I have my wife and my daughter I still gotta take care of, and then I get in the lab. And there's only 2 record stores where I'm at. Everything else I gotta drive an hour or more to go to get some decent records. And I don't get down with the 2 record shops here because they don't want to support me as a local artist that supports their
Mm.
shop. I walked in to them with physicals, and they're just not down to like put them on the shelves. And I just thought that shit was whack because I'm here in the same town. Like I'm like, yo, like
Absolutely.
who else
Absolutely.
is bringing you physicals like
Everybody's
that
in
here?
Cincinnati. They will put your shit on there, and if you
Yeah,
support them, they support you. Even if
oh
you
yeah,
don't support them, they gonna support you. I
Shake It
mean,
Records
yeah,
in Cincinnati was the
shake
same.
it. Well,
Well,
that's gone. But
yeah. I have other
record
record
arcade
stores.
gone.
Yeah, I've gotten some help from Amoeba in the past. Like some record stores down in San Diego, like Beatbox Records is a big one.
Okay.
There's this spot named Folk Art Records. It used to be it was a big record store and everything in there was $5, but with everything going up over the last few years, they started charging a lot too. So it's hard to, it's just the digging thing has just gotten just too hard to pay for and shit. So I just get my fulfillment with the digging now. It's real quick, and then I'll still get the records every now and then off Discogs. So, which
one
hey
more.
yo, not
What?
for nothing,
Please.
the digging shit was whack to me. Starting out, I always thought that shit was whack because records were very accessible back then. So I don't know why heads are
Gotcha.
like going to YouTube for all the fly shit. I feel like I put in the time to do the easier shit, like the digging and shit. So I don't have to prove anything. You know what I mean? I've already
Right.
put in my work, and I feel comfortable with what I've done. So I'm gonna make my own rules and shit at this point.
If I could
Man,
ask you,
he got. I don't know. He got quotables, man. Like
Yeah,
if we don't get no, if we got like 5 reels off what he's saying, he's just like
no
he's
doubt.
like an old soul. He's younger than us, but he's talking like a young soul. He's like, and he
Yeah.
says it like, and he just drops the mic too, like, yeah, you know. And then then you gotta let it marinate and simmer. Like, did he just say what he was
this is
saying?
just this is
That's
just who
dope.
I am when it comes to hip hop. You know what I mean? This shit gives a lot to me. You know what I mean? It's been everything. So I it's just it's like when people shit on your craft, it hurts, to see that shit. It's like, dude, heads are just,
absolutely,
you know what I mean? It's like, dude, just don't even step in the shit then.
that
Mm-hmm.
part. I mean, it's easy to shit on something you don't understand or get or even are part of that culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I always, and that's also kind of where the age gap starts happening too, because for as people grow older and then you've got the new sound and a new generation, and it happens throughout all of history. It
Yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
continues, right? And
Yep.
and there's always the youth that creates the new sound, and they make their way and they build upon it. But there's always that disconnect. It's just like someone that's a hip hop head trying to maybe get into country and they don't like country. I don't like country. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's a big thing that my wife and I disagree with.
Bluegrass.
Is country, right? She loves country, but I'm like,
No
so,
doubt.
but yeah, but I mean, if that's your ear, that's your ear, right?
Yeah, I
And
just I want to add to it is I came up like getting shit on by my peers and the people I looked up to
hmm,
like that I knew, heads that I looked up to around town and shit. Like that shit right there kind of made me just want to go harder and prove myself in that time. And I've just loved that sound moving forward, so I didn't want to like do nothing else. Just wanted
You
to
got
keep
shit
doing
on.
that
Was they
that
saying
same
like your
shit.
sound was not like the current sound? Was that what they were saying to you? Like that? You like you doing that old hip hop? You doing that boom
No,
bap?
like I was like biting. I was biting. Oh yeah, my bad.
Oh, you good? Go ahead.
yeah, you're good.
Nah, yo, I was getting like I was kind of on some biter shit. I was just a young head, but like trying to sound like this person or that person,
Oh,
and
okay.
trying to like work with heads right away that I thought would be all right. You know, working with some of the homies and shit. Just I didn't understand the b-boy ethics and the shit at the time. You
Mm.
know, so it was rightfully I was, you know, the shit was like what was going down was true. You know, and then that shit opened my eyes, and I'm like, well, shit, that's where I
You're having some technical if difficulties right now, so we've got some internet connections, of course.
I'm gonna say this. He is a student of the game. He is not cheating the game. The what he his words. I mean, I think we've had some great interview. Well, I mean, of course we have, but he got quotables. Everything he says, it's
Absolutely.
like he thinks through the process of it.
Yep. Absolutely. And what we're gonna do is while we're sorting out the internet connection at the moment, we're gonna get into some music, right? So this
Oh,
song right here is a song off of his newest project, and this is an apropos title for this episode. Stress.
Life full of stress and it wrecks my brain, so I puff the Buddha bless and destroy the pain.
hip hop, bro.
Yo, that
Banger.
was yo, absolutely, man. Stress.
Man. I put in, I said, dark room, piano, a lot of smoke. Like somebody just in there, like, like and you could, the dude is playing the piano got a cigarette in his mouth, and it's like burn out the ear. It's about to fall off. Like, man, will you tap that out? Yeah,
Yo, I'm gonna drop the link to that Spotify. That's off of Spotify, but it's on every single streaming platform. And also, if you really, 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 really should, just go ahead and support because it's extremely easy to support the homie and the work by going to Bandcamp and purchasing cassette tape, a physical copy, as he says, physicals, but you can also get all of his catalog, and it's dope, man. I will share their Bandcamp. I put it in the chat, and here is the page, right? Tons, tons and tons and tons of projects for you to be able to
From his
check
work.
out and work. He's been putting in the work. He creates, right? There's one thing he continues to say throughout the create, 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 and it's all about giving to hip hop and not trying to get something out of it, but yet just giving to it and adding to it. And I fucking support that and do that. And he's even merch, hats, these tapes. This is the thing I was looking at today too, right? He's got
Mhm.
limited run tapes, man. You saw all those cassette tapes, right? You can get a cassette tape. Look at that for
Mm.
$8.99, and you can send it as a gift. Exclusive green shell. Look at that, man. That's old school right there.
Oh,
Look at those tapes right there, man. That's the
I'm
old
looking
school
at the
tapes right
artwork
there.
too, man. The artwork is, oh, that's some Scribble Jam shit. Mhm.
That is some sick shit.
Mm.
Master Cipher Divine.
He's having some technical difficulties, so he's trying to get back with us as soon as he
Yeah.
can. Yeah,
Internet
those,
sometimes, man.
those are some dope ass cassette tapes, man. If you a tape head, you know what I mean, you a collector, definitely support the homie.
He's way
And he's
younger than us,
selling
but
out.
he says when he said physicals, I said, "Well, I need you to explain that to people because I hadn't heard that in years." It was like everything is digital at this point in time. He said, "I got physicals."
Nah,
So you have,
he keeping it gully, son.
Look at that tape. Look at the cassette case
oh, that
and the
is
cassette.
dope. That's dope, man. This is rebranding, like just give me that feel. He's younger, but he got an old soul. He got that ACH, adult
Look,
contemporary hip hop.
yeah, man. The one thing I do want to, you know, point out is that if you guys fucks with him and are liking what you hear and liking what you see, I want to point out he's selling out. So don't sleep if this is something you want to get. And look, check this out, man. This is what I was looking at earlier today, man. He's got a platinum cassette tape,
Oh, this is Kimasabi.
one of one, one of one though. Check that out, man.
Mm. Hey, this is. I wonder if that's metal or what it is, but it's Kimasabi, and you know what I mean by that. Jump on it, jump on it.
Yeah, man.
Kimasabi, you better jump on it. He's selling out. These are classic editions of his art that he pours his soul into. So, man,
Yeah,
I like.
it's like you said, it's art. Like it's a whole presentation, right? And he's back, right? And this gold one too is one of four, right? So you only make so could you because I was really if I had fuck you money right now, I would have I'd have that platinum tape right now. But
Yeah, no doubt.
Fuck
but
you,
like
money. I like that.
yeah, that's fuck you money, right? But
Yeah, like man.
here's the thing, man. Tell us about this because like I do want to compliment you on just the way that you put together your entire product and packaging and everything, man. It's sick as hell, man. Who helps you or do you put together the packaging and everything, the entire or do you have a team or you got folks
Um,
helping?
so yo, a
Or
lot of
don't tell. If it's a secret, don't tell.
nah, the only thing I won't give up is the company that we've used,
Mm.
because that just saturates it, and then same with the vinyl. We can't get vinyl in the time we want, so I won't release the names of the companies that we've worked
Yeah,
with,
yeah, yeah.
but I could tell the process and how we've done that.
From the
Yeah,
artwork standpoint, like the vision of the product, not just from the like actual mechanical
yeah,
production
yeah.
side of it, but from the vision, the art itself.
Yeah, I think what like me and my buddy MOD like kind of like we got to this point together, you know what I mean, to like hone in on how to do everything, taking the steps to to be comfortable with the final release, like a product for the release. There's like a lot of fine tuning, but we do, like, he's very capable of doing all his own Photoshop. I do all my own Photoshop. We get together over the phone to do shit like that too. Everything is in house. Like anybody that, like me and him too. We know how to do everything as far as dropping the music. Only thing I can't do is like mix or master. I just don't have time to sit there and do the extra shit. I am able to make it sound good enough for what I think, and then pass it on to somebody that can make it all balance out for a project. But
That's dope.
yeah, but for putting out physicals, we line up the templates from the companies. We pick what needs to go down with it. We're very big on the professional like end result of it. I don't want to do the DIY. Like I think it's cool to do DIY, but like it's just like a disservice to the fans. I just think about like going in, if I'm gonna go buy something new, I want it to look new and feel, and just feel like I'm getting something from a store or something, like, or something legit. Because there's a lot of heads that'll just do the DIY, and the shit that trips me out with it is they cost like the same price, to do it professional and do it DIY. It just, the right thing to do is it's a few extra dollars to do it right. You know what I mean? It's not too far off. So that's
Another quotable.
it's just heads really want to rush what they put out these days. They're very like they're stoked on what they just did, so they want to get it out in the fastest way possible. They don't look at like the other
Process.
aspects and what you can do to it to make it a better product.
Mm. Damn.
It's why we're big on physicals, man. It's just something that somebody can hold, and then it's like they're really getting a piece of you. You know what I mean? Like that of what you did. I mean, we even ship out of right here in the spot too. So everything is done right here.
Collector item. I mean, this is something like what you said, something you could hold, physical copy. It's a collector piece, like we looking at things, look at your albums behind you, look at our pictures behind us. These are collector items of pieces in time. It's just like a time capsule of
that shit is
music, and somebody holds that and they're like, I remember when I bought this tape, and they actually can pull that tape up and show you.
Yeah, there's heads that have bought our shit that don't even have a tape player or a turntable. It's pretty sick that we could still be able to like encourage them. They'll buy the product to support, but then now they like kind of want to go buy a tape player and shit too. Like, oh shit,
That part too.
and they start buying tapes, and they're kind of like, it's a very small part that we're doing, but we're getting people to like be interested in that type of shit again.
Hell yeah.
I love that.
Make me want to cop one of them tapes.
Yeah. I think I might have given you one. I can't remember.
Now you get. I got a vinyl. I got that one. The one with the.
Yeah,
like
the
you were
heavy
just showing right
retro, I
now.
remember. Yeah. That record was dope too, cause this dude out in Chicago named Kazi runs a label that he was jumping off called Jitney, and he had like a groove distribution deal, so he had reached out, and then I gave him like, I made the beats pretty quick, and then I got he had his man's Broke, is the other producer on that project. He already had his beats, so we just lined them up. I came up with the cover, had the homie Ripe 143 draw the little title for that, and then big ups to Kazi, because he was able to get that joint in like all the stores online. Like it was like on Best Buy, Barnes and Nobles, HHV.
Oh, yeah.
It was like
Wow.
everywhere. It was a physical
That was dope.
that you could cop everywhere. Shit was
That is
tight.
huge.
Oh, yeah.
That's distribution. That's
Yeah, that's a.
I mean-
I'd like to get there, but the deal's like, it's not really in my favor. It's not what I want out of it. I don't want to just sell my music and not get anything from it. It's not, that doesn't do anything for me. I like being able to connect with the people that support our shit, and be in control of like where the physicals or how they're handled.
yeah. I mean, you have control all the way to to the very last touch, and you have the handoff. You know what I mean? It's called white glove service in like the business industry. They call it a white glove service, where they
If something
physically
happens and they don't get get their merch, then I can make that right. It's not another company to like fulfill
Right.
that.
Personal.
Like you can hit us up and we'll get it worked out. Make sure that you get your copy and shit.
Hood
That's
Hippie
dope.
says he framed his copy.
Oh yeah, big up
And he
to the
he
hippies.
gonna keep it framed.
Hell yeah, that shit was tight.
Shout out to Hood Hippies. What up, bro?
Yeah, big up to the
Yo,
hippies.
and just to show like your discography right now, like this is, you have an impressive collection already, and you're active in it, and
Oh yeah.
got a great body of work. Like, tell us about some of your projects. Do you have any one that is like, I know they're all close, and I know they're all special, like, but is there one that out of any of them holds a special deeper meaning to you?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one
I
for
think
you.
like the very first physical that we put out, Pro Dub, which is the SP 1000 project, is like still like gonna be I think my favorite that I've ever done or was a part of with my man's, because it's just it was so like we just got back working and shit, and I've never put out anything like that, and then the way we made the beats, I've never done anything like that either.
Mm, okay.
Collaborating on beats like that, and then just after like selling that tape, the release party was actually at Stone Brewing. I was doing shows there. I was crafting my own shows at Stone Brewing in Escondido, and I had Shabam Sadiq come out to perform, and then I
Ooh,
also released the
okay.
tape that night.
That's
But that
dope.
tape, we only did like 50 copies, and I think we kept 10 each. So there was only maybe like 30 or 35 that we sold, and only like 10 sold on Bandcamp, and then the rest was like around doing shows and stuff or putting them in a couple record stores. But the crazy shit is when we look now that tape's like $100 tape, and it's
Mm,
and I only
that's
have
that
one.
physical.
It's kind of wild. Like I'm like, damn, I don't have an
You
original
holding on
like
with dear
SP
life with that one.
1000. Yeah, there's
We
heads
were
out there
showing
that
that,
will not get rid of that tape because it's
Right.
you
It's
know it's
classic.
like very rare and shit. So
and we were
it's
showing the
ill.
cassette off while you were
Dropped
rebooting.
off a little
Like, it
bit.
was, dude, just from the cassette, the way it looks like a
Oh
little
yeah, we did the
MPC
OVIs on
to
that too.
and the old school cassette style to
Yeah.
the sleeve that you had on it, man. Like, you nailed that shit. That's worth that's $100 tape for real.
Yeah,
That's
big
dope
ups
as
to
hell.
Master Cipher Divine, yo. We dropped that shit together,
So
Word up.
off
Hey, let me
uh,
say this because we're live.
Yeah, no doubt.
Do we got shoes in the dryer? Man, wait. I keep hearing this
Oh
bubble.
yeah, I was hearing it.
I mean, I just like, come on now, it's an elephant in the room. Is this shoes? I mean, is it sneakers in the dryer, or somebody left a belt on their pants?
Nah, it's a boiler from where I'm at. Actually,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
check
I was
this,
I was muted and shit, but
No,
yeah.
it's not. It's not.
no,
It's not
not
bugging
anymore.
me. Yo.
bro. You're good.
No,
You're good.
it's not a bug. I just wanted to say that, just keep the levity. But go ahead.
So check this out, man. Off of that SP 1000 album, you know, give me a track that you'd like for us to play next. And
Yeah.
what I always say is this.
Damn it. Yo, are you
Be-
here? Okay, we're here.
So what I would say is this. Artists very rarely ever get a chance to have an opportunity. Can you hear? Uh-oh. I don't think he can.
Ah, he froze. Yeah, we kind of want to
You
get
there?
the backstory. Well,
This-
I guess
He's
we,
at-
I'm here. Just the internet
There
shit
you
is
go.
bugging again.
I got
I don't
you.
know if you can hear me, but
I
I
can
didn't
hear you.
catch most of that. What I did catch is that you needed a beat for SP 1000.
So
Okay, word.
what I wanted to ask you was,
any one of those, yo. I can't remember like what.
and we kind of was asking like for
All
a
right.
backstory.
yeah. So what if you can hear me now, what I was gonna say is like, pick a beat
My bad,
and
yo.
you're good. No worries, fam. We are live, y'all. We are live and it's all good, right? Hood Hippie said number 7. But check this out, man.
Word up.
you never get a chance to, tell the backstory, what's going on when you made the beat or anything. You know, can you please walk us through your creative process, or what set the table for what it is that the listeners are getting ready to hear?
We're talking about this joint right here that's on screen, Mass Collide.
Out of any none off of SP 1000, like one of the tracks. Yes. Hood Hippie said 7 or 5. So tap tempo or resample. Do you have any backstory on the resample or tap tempo?
No, not really. I know the beats I was getting back from MOD though. I mean, he's like 10, 12 years older than me. You know, he's been doing this shit a lot longer. So his style is just like a lot more marinated and ill, you know. So I was tripping out on the beats that he was sending me back over my drums, you know. So all the beats that he made on there they're all ill. I think are some of my favorites off the tape. I only had like 2 that I really enjoyed. I can't even remember. They might have been one of those resampled or tap tempo. But either way, they're both our beats. But you know, that's not many people know that like we both made those. You know.
Hell yeah.
So,
Or maybe they do. I don't know.
quick question. So he would send you drums, or you sent him drums, and he would do the chop sample flips.
Yeah. He would add all the bass and the sounds and like the
That's
extra
dope.
dialogue and you know.
Okay.
He did
That's dope.
all the post production on that project. All the dialogue and shit he added to that. But yeah, we
Dope.
could run it. We could run tap tempo or resample. That whole project is ill. It's just it has a really like garage sound. Like it was very not really mixed and mastered to the highest potential. I think that's why it's like real, you know, made it real dope and shit too.
The one thing that I think that we
it came out
haven't
real good.
captured for the audience though is that, you know, knowing and doing the research, all of this came out of, you know, spawned out of the pandemic, right? Because this is when this started happening in 2020, and you guys got in lockdown, and this is a project that
Well,
came out of the pandemic, or were you working on this before
Nah,
the pandemic?
this was before the pandemic. I think we dropped this in like we kind of did a soft release of it in December, and then we had an official release date of like January 2nd or something like that. And then you know, the pandemic hit around like March, I want to say.
Mhm.
But I mean, I wouldn't say that's the reason we went hard, or you know, this would have happened regardless because we were building over the phone for every project. You know,
Got you.
we weren't really in the physical doing anything. We've hung out, you know, plenty of times, but those times we've just maxed out and shit and chilled. Everything we've done music wise has been over the jack.
Hell yeah. Cool. So we're gonna get into resample, I guess. That's the one we're gonna pick. So check this out, y'all.
Without a doubt.
Yo, that's dope, man. That's a cuts
For
on it.
s- for some reason, I can hear Onyx on it. Am I
Onyx.
preaching? Yeah, I can see it like just loud as fuck on that grimy track. Oh, yeah, and just yelling New York style, MOP, the type of version. Yeah, that was banging.
I hear Bluebeard on it.
You hear Bluebeard?
My
I was getting ready to add
I
him.
mean, I
nigga.
had this flow going, bro. That shit was hard.
He said, fuck all them names. He said, I hear myself on there. That's the man, you can't be AMC and not say some shit like that. I
Yeah.
love that. He's like, fuck what you said. I hear myself. I hear
I mean,
Bluebeard, man.
That
Waves
was
on
the
that
right
bitch.
answer. That was the
I
right
mean,
answer.
yeah.
I got a raspy voice. Shut him down.
Ah! Shut them down.
Yo,
Oh shit, that's
what
beautiful.
what we are gonna do is we're gonna get into another track off of the new project, right?
Hell yeah.
And we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go
Mass
to
Collide.
there he is. All right,
Back.
Mass Collide. He's back. So tell me about Mass Collide. Like we got you here. Let's make sure that we get an opportunity to talk about the project that you just released this
Yeah.
January, fam.
I think around like August or October. I think it's probably around October, but I already had some of the beats from the homies on there already, just in a file. And I've always wanted to drop like a project with that title, Mass Collide. When I was around the San Diego scene, there was a lot of beat makers and shit I was getting down with, but I was more trying to put that Mass Collide tape out for the shows I was doing. The heads that would come perform beat sets on the show. I wanted to kind of get some beats from those heads and put a tape out called Mass Collide. Um, I'm glad I didn't, because I wanted that project would do nothing like it did with this one. But I've kept that name, I've always had that in the back of my head to want to drop Mass Collide. So I ran with that shit, but reach out to the guys, seeing if they were down to get on. And then I just started arranging the beats to where I thought it would sound good, the way they played out. And got the homies in Ukraine to do the artwork. There's a duo,
Mhm.
Lisa and Desmas out there. Just drew up the cover, and then I was like, damn, this shit's pretty sick, because it was supposed to just be a digital drop. I was like, let's just drop this on YouTube, and then as I started putting it together, I was like, damn, we could probably drop this on like a 45, and then from a 45, I was just like, yo, like, are you guys down to like do a 12-inch? And everybody was on board. So John DeLees and Ripes came through and put some money in to make sure we can make this happen, and then
Shout out
yeah,
to
that's
them.
like basically where it went from there. But I had reached out to like Surrealist and Vel9, to get them on the track. Mike B is a good homie of mine out in Denmark. Ripes 143 is in Florida, and then my man's John DeLees is right here, like an hour from me, not too long. He's in Riverside County too. They're just all dope, They're all real dope beat makers. So I just, I wanted to, as I was doing arranging all the post production and everything, adding the dialogue, I knew like this shit had a lot of potential, and it's a short running release, but I think that's something new I learned too, is these 10-track albums and 10 to 12 tracks is like really good for someone to just have a listening experience. It's a lot less time, so you can add a lot more work to it.
Hmm.
Quick
But
question:
no, it
Did
came
from
out dope.
Midget Mike? He said, did Dominator mix that album?
Yes, thank you. There's so many heads that are a part of this shit. I always
Shout
forget.
out to Dom.
But yeah, Dom over at Be Real TV, man. I reached out to him too, and I didn't press the project on him. I just said, hey, check, like I do with most people I want to work with. Check this shit out. If you dig it, if you get down with it, if you think it's something you want to be a part of, then hit me back. If not, it's all good. It's all love. So that's basically how that went down. And I actually got a chance to meet Dom over at Rhymefest when that was going down last year. Shout out to E-Zone. He got me in to Rhymefest, me and my daughter, and then I seen Dom there. And I've sent tapes to the studio over there already. So when I saw Dom, he was like, "Yo, what up?" He's like, I have one of your tapes." You know, I was like, "Oh, I was like, that's ill that you got one because I just sent them over there to whoever that wanted it. You know, I never it wasn't like a certain piece for anybody. It's if you get down with it, then take one. You know, so it was
Hell
cool
yeah.
for him to acknowledge that he got one of the tapes I sent over there, and that's where I hit him up after because at the time when I met him in person, I didn't have no project ready or anything in mind at the time, and also I didn't want to just hit him up first time meeting him, being like, yo, like you know, so that came later. I needed a guy that could help me mix and master, and I was like, who's better than to hit up
That's
Dominic?
dope.
So
That's dope.
and then he was down. So big ups Dom, man, because that should save me a lot of time and headache, trying to get that all together. So
Hell yeah.
big ups
Hey,
Dom.
Goomson, and you also ran into Bluebeard at Ryan Fest.
I did, yes, and
And he
there was
hooked it,
a bunch of heads
and
over
he
there.
and he hooked it up with that Bart's barbecue too. You know what I'm
Oh yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah, dude. My memory is
Don't
so
forget about
shit,
your
yo.
boy,
No,
bro.
nah,
Come
yo,
on.
big ups, yo. I
Hooked
don't.
it up with the
There's a
brisket.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what's funny? I didn't eat that shit till like I got home, so I didn't even get to have it that good. But
Oh wow.
god
It
damn,
was still good.
yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, big ups on that. Thank you, brother. I totally forgot about that shit. There's so many people I ran into there I just I forgot, about a lot of. My memory is bad, yo. And I'm not even saying that. It makes me look like a new jack in some hip hop shit,
I'm on the same with fucking faces and names, bro. Like
Dude,
I
names are
be
the
running
hardest for
into
me, but
motherfuckers that know me and I'm fucking lost, bro. Like
yeah,
When
damn.
it get to a level like I didn't play basketball, hip hop, I mean, and you're
yeah,
like, hey, and I hate that one motherfucker be like, you don't remember me, do you? Don't test me, cause
yeah,
I really don't. I said, I know your
nah,
face, but don't
Yeah, for
play me bad.
sure. Your face is familiar, bro, but I can't put a name to it.
yeah. That's like when
That's
I'm
good life.
digging for records and shit. Yo, I forget. Like I can't even tell you where I sampled damn near everything I've used. I don't.
I used
I
to
can't
label all
remember.
my shit, and then I got tired, and
Yeah,
so it's like
yeah.
everything had where
Yeah,
the sample came from. Now digitally, that works,
yeah,
but back in the day, I had to write on them little discs to get went to the SP 1200. I had to write on there where this came from, so I didn't mix them up. That got old.
yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Bart. Shit, he was
Yeah,
like, "Yo,
big up parts.
I'm gonna work Rhinefest. You want to come through and serve some food?" I was like, "Shit, say less."
Yeah, it was dope. I didn't
I
get to
did.
stay for the whole show because I had my daughter. I didn't want to keep her around all the rowdy shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for
before it
sure.
got dark, I just was like, let's just go home and shit.
Well, you
He did bless us with that all access pass too.
Hell yeah.
you did bring up a question that I was going to get to because I was curious, you know what I mean? Because I'm a father as well, and um I include my kids in what I do as far as music, and have had and played music to them since they were in the womb, right? So
Yeah.
and consistently throughout. And question, like, how does your daughter like being a part of, the whole hip hop scene and what you do, and like how much do you like expose and involve in her and expose her to this?
Um, I mean, like, yo, like when I play back beats in the car and shit, she'll hear it then. In the lab, she knows where I'm at. My spot's in the garage, in the spare garage. So she'll just randomly run out here from the in the house and then just walk up in here and take over. So she's very like aware of what's going on with it and shit. And she's taking a liking because she's only 4, but she's starting to take a liking
Mm.
into different music and I hear her like singing. Where I was playing a beat in the car, and she just started singing today. Like she's doing shit like that. So, she enjoyed when we went to Rhyme Fest too. She was just right there dancing in the grass by herself before it got too crazy. So, um, she's very very like into music. She likes to dance a lot, and I let her come in here when I'm chilling. And shit. It's no
That's
problem to me. I let her. She can max out with me,
I
and
want to say this because I like being like early on producer and my watching with the birth of my daughter. I was in the music before they was born, and we actually called it Crumb Snatchers Approval.
Ooh, no.
And like so I think I don't know if we talked about this with the Dibs interview, but he would. I had just started producing. He was already producing, and if they didn't bob their head to the music, we knew it was like that's whack.
Yeah,
Like start over.
yeah.
But we was so sold on this one beat. We was both bobbing our heads, and my daughter was so disinterested. She was like, and Dale said, "Come on, it's a hit." And she was like, "Not today, buddy." So the music, they were like, we knew we had a hit because she go home like he sampled Soul Power or something. She was going, "Power people, Soul Power." She's like two and
Sick.
two and a half, three. So
Hell yeah.
that boy, that's the next generation of your talent,
Oh yeah,
and that's your legacy.
I don't want to push it on her, but I mean, if I
Let
see
her
she takes
grasp
an
it.
interest, so
There we go.
I think what I want to do when she gets a little older, maybe in a couple years, is take like a piano lesson with her, because I don't know that shit, and it would be
Ah,
cool to like just do some other shit, not tied
that
to my
sounds like
name.
a dope ass activity, like father daughter
Yeah,
type
because
thing to
I
do,
didn't ever
man.
get that training, when I was younger. I didn't ever get to experience
Let me
like
say this:
you
I
know,
took 3 organ lessons, and as soon as I got, after the divorce, I got custody of my children. I put them in piano,
hell
and
yeah.
they gravitated to the violin.
See, that's
Oh my God, that was so. I'm in the studio producing. I'm hearing that
oh
like
shit,
I
yeah,
like man, sound like cats getting bleached.
yeah.
And I said I came in there, I couldn't take it one day. I said, "Just show me how you." They're like, "Well, Daddy, you got to put it in your chin." And then I started playing a beat off of it, and they was like, "How'd you do that?" I said, "It's by ear." I was like, "You
Yeah.
showed me how to hold it, how to play it." But oh, I mean, they became first and second chair violinists. But them first sessions was,
Oh yeah,
ooh, it
yeah.
was
You
like
know what's
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 that
cool? I got
chalkboard?
the neighbor right here. The kid that lives next door. He's a younger. He's like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12, but I can hear him playing the saxophone every night, and he's getting pretty dope. I
Getting
was like,
better.
damn, yeah. I was like, that's pretty sick. But it definitely kind of fucks up the session in here too, because I'm hearing this shit in the background. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, community.
Uh,
We make music.
Hell yeah.
But no, it's cool,
So,
man. My daughter, it's yeah, she enjoys it. She actually took one of my there's this little drum machine. It's called a pocket operator.
mm-hmm,
Hmm.
You guys seen those, the teenage engineering ones?
mm-hmm. You
Yeah,
can, yeah,
we
yeah.
actually dropped some projects with that thing too. And but she saw that and she took it. Like she's had that since she was born.
That's
Mm.
dope.
And I have sounds loaded into it. The battery's been dead for mad long, but she's always used to press the buttons on it and shit. So it was cool. It was like a little sensory thing when she was growing up.
Dope.
Absolutely, man. Those are, yeah. Because I mean, you think about it, youth and getting music. Music is like I always how I was able to get my son into music because he liked science and math
Mm,
and statistics.
yeah.
My my daughter's the creative artistically. My son is like the logic side of me and the statistics side of me. But I explained him. I broke
Dope.
music down to him in math, and I explained like
Yeah.
because they were going through music, a class in music school, and I was like, look, here's song structure. Look at the math, and here's how it is, and you add it up, and everything goes together, right? So and that immediately caught him and he started paying more attention to music
Mm.
then, you know
Hell
what I
yeah.
mean, and he start and because he's counting.
Yeah, I
Tempo
probably
is
would
I
have
math.
catch
been.
him counting.
Yeah, I
Mm.
would have probably been a lot better at math had I put this towards it. You know what I mean? If I had that, because this is all numbers when you're tuning in the drum machine. It's all numbers. It's
Absolutely.
kind of a
Tempo,
trip.
beats per minute, all of that is
Yeah,
yeah.
your
Math.
tune or you got to tune down your beat or pitch it up or what. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of
Yeah.
Yeah,
numbers in
if you
that
want
shit.
to add an effect and you want it
Yep.
to swing this way, you got to look at the measurements of it. I mean, yeah,
Yep.
it's
So like I broke it down to him like, yo, this is you have a gift
Hell
that
yeah.
some people don't have because you already vibe and get it on this level, right? So you're gonna be just like you said on the drum machines, tempos, and all of the complex logic that goes around building actually and
Yep.
making a song. You know, when you're putting all the stuff into the MPC and everything like that, it's and that got them. You know what I mean? I said, then you can just add your own creative swing to it, and you'll be locked in quicker.
Hell
So I
yeah.
mean, that was a way to engage him into music. And I love it, just getting youth in music, because music, and it sounds like even for you, because you've worked out, you said earlier that you worked out a lot of things through your youth, through creating music, right? And through your creating.
Yep, that shit was there for me when nothing else was, you know. It's like I could just go do that shit. So
Absolutely. And music has remained with me throughout my entire life and has kept me alive, and is the reason why I'm breathing right now, you know, and got me through my cancer and everything like that. So like this is like, you say giving a gift back to hip hop. Like, if there's anything I can do for hip hop, this is it. Like,
yeah, exactly. Just like your guys' platform, you know, this is giving back.
And this is like what we all want to do, is give this time and give it back to hip hop. So salute to you for being on here, but salute to the spirit that you have behind everything that you do, because I can tell you're a real one. And getting back to Mass Collide, what is a track that you would like for us to sample, or not sample, play?
Ultra Vest. I think that's the last one on.
That's the last one.
Yeah.
Tell us about
physicals.
Yo, my man John DeLees is just I really dig his style of beats. You know, this shit is real dope.
What was his name?
John DeLees.
Okay.
He I think why I like that beat is just the dialogue from Premier in the beginning is just like, it's real true and it's fucking raw, you know, like that's kind of a dig at the heads, you know, like it's just right there, like I don't have to say it, the sound is speaking for itself, and it's just dope, you know. We can get into that, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Hell yeah, man. I was listening to this all day today at the hospital, so this is dope as hell, man. Salute to you on this one. Here we go, y'all.
Just because you're a good fan of hip hop doesn't mean that you can make records. You know what I'm saying? Some people's better just buying them and listening to them. Some people's good at making them. my format. You know what I mean? I don't try to really sway too far off of that. But people are like, oh, he's trying to do this or he's trying to do that. I kind of keep it the way you heard me is the way you're gonna hear me.
Man, that reminds me of a young me, and I say this in a good way, where they're like, man, I was trying to sell some beats to Roscoe. He's like, oh, your shit sound jazzy. I
Yeah.
said, that was the first records I had. I stole them from my father's basement. I
Yeah.
said, but I said, did I stop sampling jazz? Hell no. It just had just got to find that piece, man. That was and put that drums to it.
Hell
That's
yeah.
fire, bro. That was fire.
Yeah, that beat was John Dele's right there, man. That he gets down, yo.
Yeah, that just said that had
Those drums were nasty. Like the
the
whole thing was
drums, bro.
nasty.
Everything made everything pop. I mean, it's just like because
Yeah.
with a jazz record, you gonna hear the brushes and stuff like that. Dude, you put that hip hop on there and you make it sound like you banging some garbage cans.
Yeah.
Boom, cat. That
Hell
just
yeah.
changes it.
Yeah, that shit is really dig that one. I think just everything about it, like the dialogue, the beat,
Mm,
like how it's placed on the record too, like what where it plays at on the record,
Hmm.
being the last joint. Um,
mm.
it's just that beat wouldn't have fit in the middle, of the project, or it
Let
wouldn't
me
fit as
ask
the
you that.
first beat. You
That's
know
a
what I mean?
good question for producers, arrangers, artists. When do you you go through a whole stack of music? It's like, oh, we got the project. We think we got everything. What's your mentality on placing a beat a certain place and knowing that it makes sense?
I think you gotta gather all your beats before you start anything else, and then before you even lay them down on a project file, you just play them like out on how they are in a folder, and then rearrange them until you think you got it. There's beats always that don't fit either, where you're like
Hmm.
they don't even fit on the
Absolutely.
project. So that's kind of what I'm big on, and what we've been big on is like I'm not afraid to tell anybody like, hey, just like send another beat or something. There's a lot of heads that get turned away from that, and that's okay because it's like I'm not like I'm just want the best for everybody that's a part of it. You know what I mean? So it's no hard feelings. It's just to make it the best product we can make it. So when it comes to arranging, I think yeah, it's just starting in a folder, getting them all together, taking beats out, adding beats, and then from there seeing what you need to add, if anything, if you need to add a beat here, just to not overthink it too hard, but at least you'll know when you have it.
Hmm.
You'll feel it like when you hear it, you're like, all right, this is the track list right here. Then from there you can kind of add everything else in and keep progressing in.
I wanted that from I wanted the audience to hear that because and I like some people like, how did you know to put all these like the way you put them? And it's like
Yeah,
sometimes it's natural, sometimes like, wait a minute, let me think, and then your first track list might be like, nah, some's off here.
yeah.
You
I
know
feel
when
like
that flow.
a lot of heads are lacking that too. They just they might not even be aware
Facts.
that that's a process in it, or
Mm.
or they're in a back to going and they're in a rush to put their music out, or I don't know. I think if they were to just because that can make or break a project too, right there. I hear a lot of projects that have a lot of potential, but and how this beat should have been here or there, but I think
Goomson, are you reincarnated? Because you talking like somebody just knows. I'm like, it's so many quotables you're talking. I
I
mean, like,
don't
are you reincarnated?
I don't know, yo. I think I'm just very natural at the at I don't know, man. People have told me before like I'm meant to be doing this shit, like it's
Hmm.
kind of crazy. I get that kind of often too, At least like once a year somebody will just come at me with that shit saying
It,
I'm meant to be a hip hop head or something.
it's kind of crazy
It just
how
bugs me
you.
out cuz I don't see myself as I just see myself as I'm just here doing what I love, I don't
Mhm.
see it any other way. I'm just here making beats and shit. And I just want, in the end of the day, this is what I want to listen to and what I want to create. So
I
it's
just think
dope
your
to give
answers and
other people that shit too.
your answers, your dialogues. I mean, it's just like your insight. It's like
Well,
it's super deep,
I've
super
never
deep.
lost focus of of my craft. You know, I've never wanted to branch out or try this type of style or try that type of genre. Or, you know, I've just stayed true to what I know, and wanted to continue working on that and perfecting that. You know, it's like a well-oiled machine and shit. Once you got it going, you don't want to, you know, steer different from that shit. So
Yeah, I ain't throwing no D's on it.
yeah, yeah,
I said
exactly. Yo.
they rolling right just the way they are. Yeah,
Nah, man.
appreciate you, bro.
Nah, no
Yeah,
doubt.
it's. I mean, salute to you. And question for you, man. When you have a vision for a project and stuff like that, right? Because these are definitely, you have a vision
Yeah.
and a whole art around it.
Oh, was that the what?
No, 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 no,
Oh,
Mike.
okay.
No, I'm getting. I'm
Oh,
thinking
okay, okay.
how I want to pose the question though.
Word, word. I
Is
thought the shit was
basically
lagging again.
nah, 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 nah. I'm just trying to think about how I want to word it properly. But
Word.
ultimately, is how do you know when you're done? How do you know when to stop messing with something and saying this is it?
Um, see, me and MOD kind of came up with like this checklist, like in our minds. We've always wanted to pen it down on paper and like make it like a kind of like a checklist that people can base that shit off of, like where you start here and where you end and where you get to that final, where you think is the final piece. You know what I mean? It's just going back to like you do all these things. You have to start here, and then you end here. You just know that you can't add too much more else to this. You know, you can't do anything more than what you know. There's that. It kind of just ends on itself when you get there. You know, there's little things you can adjust, like mixing and mastering, or the template placements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as far as like the project, that's all the stuff we care about as artists. Like, oh, this needs to be perfect, you know. But the listener doesn't they don't even, they're not even looking at that part of it. They're just looking for the art and then listening for the music. You know, they're not picking apart uh what like an average, like a person making the music, how they would pick it apart. You know, so
Hmm.
Yeah.
it's
The consumer.
yeah, like heads drift there just because they feel like it doesn't sound right, or you need to add more of this or that. The consumer is not, they're not even worried about
Row,
that
row,
shit.
row your boat. That's
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
me.
But
That's how sometimes.
when it comes to finishing a project, you just know, you just know when you're close to finishing up, and then everything is in steps, so you can't like do other things before, I can't go, like, for instance, I can't place the order for the project if I don't have the artwork finalized, or stuff like that. You can't jump steps when it comes to dropping physical media. So you got to do everything in
Hmm.
order, even down to the release date.
Mm.
That plays a factor in it too. Like you got to find a good day that people are able to cop, and when it's gonna drop and shit, because you don't know that when you place the order for the wax or the tapes, you don't know when you're gonna get it. So you gotta wait till you get a tracking number, and then you can plan from there.
Well, let
And
me throw
Yeah.
this out there. Pressing vinyl,
yeah,
like it wasn't like you doing this a few times. Your mix had to be a little different for vinyl pressing than
yeah,
us like a
uh,
CD.
yeah, indeed. I don't know, like, so the first couple that we've done on wax,
Hmm.
MOD mixed and mastered those, and they came out really nice. They sounded really good. So I don't know how much that plays a part in that. Like, I know some people's shit is too muddy, um, but like the company that we use, they're not just gonna sell you the shit if it doesn't sound good, because that
Right, they're gonna
that
give
comes
you your
back on
test
them.
press.
So
They're gonna
yeah,
give you a test press.
I did a test press once with the company,
Mhm.
to see what it was, and I just wanted a test press to have. Thought that shit was dope, but uh, after that, I kind of know what it needs to sound like, so I don't go for test pressings anymore, because they charge you for that shit. They charge you more for test pressings, so they won't just give it to you.
Really? The game did
Yeah, and
change.
it
Yeah,
delays your release.
because you
It
need
delays.
approval. They gotta
Yeah,
come to
and
you and
the
yeah.
the companies we use are overseas, so when it's a whole mission to get. Well, I might not receive that for a month, and then I
Mm,
get to listen to it, and then I tell them, and but in that month's time, they can push my shit back because they got somebody else that's ready to roll, and get their shit pressed. So,
absolutely. I
um,
mean, we just giving our
yeah,
listeners some game. If y'all want to have physicals, it's that's
yeah.
part of the
I
process.
think I think everybody should drop physicals, man. If they say that they take this shit seriously like that, I think they should be investing in something,
Hmm.
and I don't think investing in MCs or like any of that shit or people that might give you a head start in the on a project or something. It's nice to have those things, but if that's where your money's gonna go is for a feature, then I think you should just consider taking that money and putting it into a physical. That could be
So you
anything. You can
saying
start
putting
with
it
a
back in
CD.
yourself, invest it
Yeah,
back into yourself.
and I think heads have been discouraged when they drop. They'll do a physical, and say you spend like $200 and then you don't make that money back. That shit it hurts. You're like, damn. Um, I've been fortunate enough to be able to make the money back with each release and a little bit to continue moving on to the add into the next piece and shit. So
You're giving something people can actually hold, and it's like
yeah,
you're giving a piece of yourself and
yeah, indeed,
artistry, and they can hold this record, they can hold that tape.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it actually becomes a collectible at point in time because they can get it. They can still get it digitally, of course.
Yeah, it's that's the fine line with digital is because it might be hot for the month that you released it on digital, and then after that it might get lost and not be resurfaced, But heads are
Wow.
gonna see your shit in
Yeah.
the
Say that
stacks,
again.
or and they're gonna be like, oh shit, I haven't heard this in a minute. Let me put this back on, and they might make a post too. Like I get that pretty often where heads tag me in a
Because it's
listening to
there
a
to
project.
look at. So
Yeah,
so yeah, it's so much you get flooded, but
yup,
it's just
and
like they might be in the studio like, oh, I got this
yup,
physical copy. Let me play this skit. Man, this
yup,
still this
and it's
still
a
dope. This still banging.
and it's a form of inspiration for sure. I got people's shit that I've supported, and
Hmm.
I pop that shit on and I'm like, that's dope because I know they did that, and it's kind of it fuels me again to like put do what I'm gonna do for my shit. So um, just like
Or
kind of it keeps you like, all right, cool. They dropped a cool album. It's inspiring to make you want to drop an album too.
Hell yeah, man. I think the fact that there's not any you think about you said something where yeah you might have got hot for a cycle, right, a month or whatever, and
Yeah,
y but if you sell it, sell an actual physical copy, then that's sold. You've got your money and you got the whole from it, and then they have it. It's out there, but it's going to get lost in the ether if the algorithm doesn't continue to pick it back up or
yeah,
someone does. I mean, this is a crazy game. Everybody always, hear people and see people on the internet talking about, here's how the algorithm works and let me explain it so you can go and get a but no one really understands it fully because the people that control it aren't saying anything. They're the
yeah,
ones that are not saying like do XYZ and get results. There's no solid foundation or math or rhyme or reason, right?
nah,
So for you as an artist, there's no solid foundation there.
yeah,
And like what you said, and it makes total sense. And me as a consumer listener, I want a physical copy, but
yeah,
that's me
indeed.
personally.
The other thing to it too is heads. I'm always seeing heads complaining like distro or the streaming isn't paying enough, and that's right. It's not. It's not paying anything really. You can have thousands of views and it doesn't pay shit. But there's this platform, Bandcamp, that will give back to you. You put your physicals out there, and you're gonna see that cash flow that everybody's desiring. Like out of it.
hmm
You just
well,
gotta,
that's it.
put that. That's investing in yourself. That heads really lack that shit, and I just think that's why I'm encouraging heads, and I'm trying to tell heads like, dude, drop your shit on a physical form. It doesn't matter. Don't be so quick to rush a project or just I just want to drop one track. I see that a lot too, man, where people have like a couple tracks that they want to throw on an album, but then they'll just throw those 2 tracks out, and then they'll just release their album scattered out, you know. But they just take a little bit more time, you know. Save by that time that you keep creating, you can stack up a little bit of money and put that into the physicals. It's been dope with Bandcamp because with all the algorithm shit, we've focused all of our time on building that Bandcamp following, you know, and along that route, we really discovered how to utilize that website to its max potential, you know. So being able to get the promo from Bandcamp, knowing what tags to use in the posting of the release,
The metas, yeah.
you know, like just there's so many little things you need to dial in on Bandcamp to get the best turnout of it. So it's been dope to build that up and be on that side of things, you know, instead of the social media shit. It's hard to build social media for sure.
Hell yeah. So we have a question from Weez, Big Weez, our co-host,
Okay, word up.
who couldn't be on screen, but it's a 2-part. He says, basically, what's the biggest artist on your discography that you've worked with?
Like as that has a name, I'd say it would be Surrealist and Vel 9. But that's just because I've been so picky throughout these years, and I refuse to pay for a verse or something. You know, I'm not.
Oh hell yeah.
I don't want to. Like, I've had an opportunity to work with a lot of heads, but I just that price thing is, and I'll take that back too. I actually worked with Cy from Science of Life.
Okay.
John Robinson, we did a track together over John DeLeese's beat. So that's another big one. I mean, he's worked with MF Doom and shit. He had his group Science of Life, Expressor Wallaby and or Professor Wallaby and ID4 Wins. But so that's another one. Grim Moses. I've worked with some heads, but
Salute.
I don't know,
And
you know, what's going on?
the second part is basically, is there someone that's underground or up and coming that you would like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the Inner Realms. You know, we still are up and coming. You know what I mean? Like, everybody I get down with on that label is we're all still here trying to get that name out. You know, and make it crack. I mean, we gotta be, or at least for me, I gotta just focus on what's in front of me. You know what I mean? I can't really. We're all in. Whoever else is in this hip hop shit, it's like kind of like a small competition, but it's I want this shit to be a name when I pass. You know, I want the Inner Realms to be like a force.
Legacy.
in hip-hop
Legacy.
and shit. Yeah.
Legacy. Yeah.
So just shout out to the
Not
Inner
selling
Realms,
out.
Master Cypher Divine, John DeLeese, Ripe 143, Mike B, myself. Shout out to all those heads.
Midget Mike Stott, he said income tax money. I don't know what he was listening to when he said that. I just saw income tax money because you know it's that time everybody freaks out.
Yeah, I turned off that so I don't lag. I turned off that the chat. I can't.
Oh, the
see
chat.
shit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, it still probably comes on the screen, but I don't know how that works.
I don't want to touch nothing because then
Like it's
He's like, hey, I had 3 glitches.
yeah,
Ain't gonna be 4.
yeah.
Hey,
Love it.
look. So, what's the track that you want us to go out on, fam? Like, what's the track that we go out on?
Shit, I don't. Man, there's so much. Yeah, we can give them something cool and shit. We can go to like
We can give them 2. We can give them 3. Give me
All
some
right,
tracks
word.
if you got a couple. Like I'm more than. We're here to listen. So
yeah, let's go
let's
to
get it.
It's Low End Wizards. That's it's that green cover.
Yep. 1 second. And what track do you want to play?
Seasoned Veterans.
Got it.
Seasoned veteran.
So, tell us about Seasoned Veterans.
So this whole project was off the PO33, and I just thought like me and MOD were like the first ones to really drop like some solid projects with with these little machines, you know. So I just felt at the time, because we've already dropped a few projects and our name was growing rapidly from that point. I just, you know, kind of we both kind of been doing this a long time, so I felt like, you know, it's a good title for that beat, you know, seasoned veterans. I don't know if it's
Dope.
is it popping up there?
Yep, we got it.
Okay, word.
So here we go, man. Let's get it. Seasoned veterans. Yo.
And you know what? People are gonna get mad at this shit because it's like if you try to rap to it, you gotta keep starting it over. They come MCs will hate you for this beat.
Oh,
Like,
I know, yeah,
man, why'd you make it that small? Sure, they will get heated.
you know, it's because when the projects get lined up, it's some beats, you know, we don't want playing longer than this beat or that beat, because when we set them up for the tapes, try to keep it at 15 minutes aside, you know. So
Oh, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying,
yeah.
as soon
No,
as
I know.
somebody
I
starts
get
to get
that.
that
I get
vibe,
that
they're gonna
from
get
heads for sure.
yeah, because you're like, hey, this is a
Yeah.
time construct. I know what I'm doing when I put it out. You want it? I come to my studio. I get you the long reverse. But
Yeah,
I could see somebody hitting rewind. Once they, as soon as they get into a good flow, start fading out.
yeah, that's another thing with working with MCs is I don't have time to go back, and I don't really like going back because it was that beat was for this project, you know. So I rather cook a different beat with something that they can use that's
Ooh,
longer, you know what I mean?
interesting. Well said.
I'm not I got a lot of shit and you know that I can use for heads, or I'm always gonna be making shit too. So it's
Are
not
you hip
like
to a Are
these
you hip
old
to a
beats.
J Rawls?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, kind of got a. That's my frat brother, and we looking to get him on the show. He kind of got
Oh,
that feel where it's a lot of it's really a jazzy boom bap
oh
feel.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
I
it. I
think
love
he's
it.
actually worked with Science of Life recently, not too long ago, I think.
Okay.
That's dope,
Int-
man.
Oh
What's
yeah.
another one you want us to get into, man?
This is gonna be off Low End Wizards 2.
All right. What's track is it?
I'm trying to see which one it is, if I can pull it up. All right, let's see. My bad. I'm not like real familiar with a lot of of the names we came up with. It's going back to the memory shit, you know.
I
It's
can
like,
throw it up on the screen for you.
yeah. It's Low End Wizards 2, so it's gonna be that one right there to the right. That album. Oh, that just says what? Telomere Caps.
Yeah, this is Low End Wizards, or is there Low End Wizards 2?
There's a Low End Wizards 2,
Ah, yep, my bad.
no doubt.
Right there.
Oh fuck! I hope this thing doesn't lag out on me. I can't see that shit. All right, now I can see it.
You got No Looking Back.
I think Mojave wins.
Track 6, Mojave Wins. Tell us about this.
I said Mojave wins. I was on mute.
Yo, this sample was Sick Jackin actually sampled it too. It was a tricky sample because it was only like 6 bars or something like that. So to fill the other 2, you kind of had to freak it a little way, you know. But it came out pretty sick. It's like this little synth over it too that I enjoyed. It just had this like kind of like a wind, like this just windy vibe, you know, from the desert and shit. So just named it that.
Dope. Let's get into it.
that's a different.
Yeah, that is. That's
That's
my
not.
bad. I don't know. Yeah, I got you. I got you. I don't know why that queued up.
I think that's from the same project though.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know why it. Come on. There we go. My bad. Man, that's a vibe right there.
Hell yeah, I really enjoyed making that one for sure. It's dope how it all came together.
Banger.
I kind of zoned out and started rapping and coming up with a hook.
Hell yeah.
I was like,
I'm telling you.
my mind went elsewhere. Like I was like, yeah, and it was long enough too. You
Hell
want to
yeah, yeah.
snip it?
See, some of them are longer than others. So.
Yeah,
Some of them we don't
dope,
touch.
dope
I
work,
think
bro.
I want to play two more, but I want to pay homage to my man's Master Cipher Divine. Because I think his style is dope, and I want people to be able to hear that shit too. Because
Absolutely.
this is Inner Realms as well. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. It's
um,
family.
hell yeah. So on that same project, we can do. It's called Low End Wizards 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's the title beat for that. He did one on Low End Wizards, the first one, but you guys can go check that out later. It's this is kind of like the second beat to that beat, but it's just on a
And
little
which
funny tip.
Concept of low end wizards.
Um, so I think on I forget. I think when we did Low End Wizards, we were coming up with names, and we didn't have like a duo name yet. I think we started with Build and Dismantle is what we were trying to go by as first,
Hmm.
and then we just kind of discovered like Low End Wizards, and I was like, yo, that's just pretty ill because we can just kind of make like we're wizards on some beat making shit. So it was a
Mm.
cool little concept that stuck.
Okay,
And then we just kind of ran with that. That's kind of what our duo went by, or what it does go by is Low End Wizards. So,
got you.
but this beat he does, I really enjoy these type of beats. It's kind of like where what inspired me to do like the We Don't Smoke the Same type beat. Or like I made this one beat that's just kind of nasty. It's just a bunch of porn and shit on the beat, So, but it's dope, It's like it's part of
Parental
being an artist
advisory.
and shit,
Advice.
It's very raunchy and shit, but it's dope.
I heard that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. But yo, this is dope right here. Let's get into it. Low End Wizards 2.
Once a bitch, always a bitch, homie. I was never from there. Your mindset. You ain't a real G, homie. Hey, fool, I'm straight up, fool.
Ching trae. Why the fuck you let these people disrespect you like that for shit?
Why, fool? I don't have to fight you, dog.
You're ranking it for the rest of the homeboys.
Check it out. I'm up on game, fool.
I'm about to take this blue to the fucking neck and that shit.
Why? Man, we got check on him, fool.
Because I don't give a fuck about the authority and shit.
If you fucking rip me up with the $5, then that shit won't run the fade. I'm a cash stuff for spade, sure.
I'll fucking knock your ass out, fool. Balada, fool. Hell yeah, motherfucker. Fuck you, asshole. Hey, don't be bitch. Hey, what the fuck, fool? Suck.
I'm making so much better right now. It's making me close gambling book look like bubble gum cheese. Follow me, you fucking idiot. I'm coming here there and I'm taking on his body.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's
Deep
sick.
in the dungeon. That's where I
Yeah,
was
it's just,
drug in. I'm
hell yeah.
thugging. Talking about Indians. I'm like I'm sitting there freestyling.
Word up.
Yeah, good beats, man. Good beats.
Yeah, yo, he's real dope on the beats and shit for sure. I think the last one, yo, is off this project titled Chapter 1 from Inner Realms. It's the first compilation tape we did. We got the architect from Hieroglyphics. He DJs for them right now. He's also done shit with like homeless derelicts. There's also we got Psycho Les on that. Whole bunch of different beat makers. Sturks,
Mhm.
John DeLees is on that joint. Mike B, myself, MOD. But yeah, it's on that one. It's called Bad Water Basin on Chapter 1. You might have to go to the Inner Realms for that.
Gotcha. I want to make sure everybody sees. Make sure you're following Goomson on all platforms. So if your button doesn't say following,
Yeah.
make it put the ing at the end. Not follow, but following.
Yeah.
Make sure you do that.
I think I'm more worried about, or not worried, but I would like the heads to follow the Inner Realms,
Absolutely.
especially because that's
Shit, follow both. Follow both. Hey, y'all can multitask. Follow both.
yeah.
We're gonna follow.
My apologies for cutting you off on during
No,
that
no, you're
part.
good, yo.
No, we're gonna follow both. Hey, y'all heard that? So, can we get that in the chat?
So let's see here. All right. Boom. So now I'm on that one. So we're going to be
All right, it's that
I'm
second
showing-
one right there.
chapter
it's,
1 right here.
Yep.
Boom. All right.
Bad
Which one we
Water
got on?
Basin.
Tell us about this one, fam.
This was MOD's beat on that project. So when we made this project, we didn't want to be like we didn't want to take over the project. You know what I mean? We kind of just wanted, at first we just wanted to just make it and not really have any beats on it, just be the ones that created it, and got everybody together. But as we were making it, we're like, well, we gotta both get on it, So we gave him a Low End Wizards beat that we both were on. He supplied his beat and I supplied my beat. I just think that beat is real dope because the way it transitions and shit. You can tell he puts like the way it's just arranged is fat, So that's another thing I appreciate about his beats. He's got these switch ups in that are just bugged out, I can do them, but it comes down to a time thing because that's finding a whole new set of sounds to make it fit in and shit. And you guys can get a little taste of that with this track right here, Bad Water Basin.
Hell yeah, man. Let's get into it.
Oh, I'm down for hip hop.
Yeah?
I love hip hop.
What would you like about hip hop?
The beats.
See, he's playing with your emotions on that one, man. He's playing with.
Yeah, yo.
That was
He
three
is-
different segues to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing like I think is real dope about the Inner Realms, you know. It's like we ain't got no whack motherfuckers on this spot, you know. So and that's big, you know. We just
God.
it's you know, there's plenty of people we could throw on for beats and shit, but not everybody makes a cut when we do like compilation style projects, you know. That's like
And y'all,
it's a big thing, you know.
y'all keep the.
Give
I
him
mean,
another one. Give
it's
him
it's
another
a
one.
it's a brand. It makes. I mean, it's puts you in that. It's like the early '90s. It's
Yeah,
just like it's really adult contemporary hip hop. It makes your head nod, and it's
yeah.
got that jazzy feel. It just puts you in a time and place. It's like a time. I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah.
It's
So
good.
check this out, man. If you got time, I have time. We got time.
Yeah, no
Bless
doubt.
him. Give him another one.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
think
it is all
I'm gonna
about the
go for
love.
another like 30 and shit for sure.
I want to. I
Um,
want to make sure that we do, because you did say and have an opportunity to highlight the entire
Yeah,
inner
yeah.
realm. So let's do
I think
this.
that it's good we're doing this too, because when a lot of heads just listen on the streaming platforms, and
Mhm.
a lot of the beats I'm picking aren't the ones that are in the front of these playlists that people might hear us on. And even when you go, you know, press play on Inner Realms or our pages, these beats aren't the ones you're gonna ever get to. They get lost, you know, in that Spotify. So. Um, I haven't played anything off the last one we did together, which is omnipotent, or we called it omnipotent, but it's
Okay.
omnipotent. So, but we pronounce it
Yeah.
as omnipotent. You know,
I've
so
been there with that word.
yeah, yeah. I was like, it's a little tongue twister because I forgot that we worded it different than what it's supposed to sound like. But let's go back to Low End Wizards real quick. I'll give you one more splash of Master Cipher Divine in those switch ups I'm talking about. So.
Low End
The
Wizards 1 or 2.
first one,
First one. Give me sir. Got it.
and he's got a little bit of those type of beats on every project with that splash and shit. So that one is the one we're gonna play is called Neuralink.
Got it.
That's
Tell
another
us about it.
build up beat, and that was off the PO. So if anybody that's ever gotten down with the PO, they know how difficult it is to sample on. You only get 60 seconds of the full time. That's RAM time and sample time. So as you push and play and shit, it's all fucked up. So you gotta really
Man,
utilize how you use
y'all
that box.
spoiled. We had less than that.
Well,
Y'all
no,
spoiled
it
that one.
technically is it's 60 seconds of RAM time. It's it like it goes away quick. It's not sample time, you know.
Oh, it's not simple. Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
so
RAM and I'm IAT. Yeah, I
yeah,
was thinking like sample time and that can get chopped up. That's why everybody play this
yeah.
shit on 45 to get the
When you
sample. But your
when you
RAM
spread
time,
oh yeah, when you spread your bars on when you spread your bars out on the PO, you lose your time. You lose time too. So if you make like a two or four bars, that's gonna take away from your 60 seconds as well. So
I'm
that's
not
where it
hip to
gets
the
difficult.
PO. What is the PO?
Um, I don't have it with me right now, but it's a little calculator looking machine. It's tiny.
Kind of
It's
like
got
Dr.
Wow.
Drum?
yeah, it's a drum machine. You know, it's like it's a
Mm.
sampler. You can do everything. It comes
Oh,
with
that
preloaded
makes sense
sounds,
now.
but just wipe it and then yeah, you add your drums to it. You add your sounds, and then there's no save option. So when you're done making the beats, you
That's
have
it.
to record it to move on. Yeah,
Wow.
you can't just like save it later. Do it. You can't make anything until you erase that first one. So
Damn.
yeah, let's get into Neuralink.
There we go.
Is
Absolutely.
that other one for sure?
Here we go, y'all. Neuralink.
The beats you're hearing are real-time signals from the Neuralink. So this Neuralink connects to neurons that sends out neural spikes to detect it here. And so on the screen, you can see each of the spikes from the 1024 electrodes. And you can see the neurons will fire much more than when you're not touching the sound. And this was me.
Man, can I just say one thing? So,
Yeah.
fire, but the thing I appreciate the most is you give me a reason to listen to the end. And what I mean by that is like a lot of
That
beat
end flip was
makers,
dope.
Yeah,
a
that's
Right.
my
lot
You
of
favorite
better
part of that
hear
shit.
my end shit. Because if you turn away and you go out and you go to the bathroom, come back, you're like, damn, it just switched.
a
I'll,
lot of
I'll
folks that
spit
make
it.
beats,
Yeah.
a lot of folks that make beats and do that, they just like kind of just keep the same thing going, right?
Fade it
And
out.
Yeah,
this
I do
so
that a lot.
much,
When I got
but
time, I freak other ways, but yeah, that's how I get
Hmm.
down for the most part. I just go all the way through this shit.
man,
But
wait,
I
my
gotta
bad.
do
What were we
everything
gonna say?
else too, so
Nah,
it's
you
I
good.
get a pass. You know what I mean? I can fucking
Now that flip was hard right there, bro. I was spitting some sick ass bars right
Hell
there.
yeah, y'all gotta pay homage to my mans, yo, cause we wouldn't be where we're at if I didn't know him and shit. So just paying homage and giving back to my brother, you know. So
Word.
I think I want to get into a track. I think it's titled No Ethics. It's probably right there on Spotify too. It's John DeLees and John Robinson and myself. I actually got down on this one. I wrote a verse to it. So.
Oh, you rapping on this?
Yeah, I was emceeing a little bit. I don't really like. If I had the time, I would sit down and pen out a lot of shit. But I just don't have it in me like that. You know, I get in with the beats and I could do something pretty fast. With
Beats the main flow
to get me
rapping
through.
hobby.
Yeah,
we're gonna see what you got.
Yeah, I want to MC more, but it's just a time thing, you know.
I'm looking for it right now. You said it was No Ethics, right?
Yeah. Pretty sure it's No Ethics.
Exclusive B-Boy Sunday Crown.
If you can't find it, you can just type John DeLees on that Spotify. It should pop up.
Make sure we ain't missed no questions here.
Tell us a little bit about this track while I look this up, fam.
John DeLees, usually we just send each other beats on text and shit. You know, I'll get a random beat that he just made and shit, and I'll tuck him because for the longest, yo, he's like, he didn't want to drop nothing, you know, and I'd start holding them, and I'm like, nah, dude, I want to put these out on something, you know. So I've had these beats for a minute, and then I was just like, yo, I wrote this verse to it. I like it, and I'm in contact with Cy right now, so I reached out to Cy and seeing if he wanted to be a part of it. Like, you know, with Dom, I said, if this is something you can get down with, then let me know. If not, all good, you know. So he was digging it, and then we just got busy on it. It was dope because that verse he turned it around pretty quick, so he shot it over pretty fast. I think it's No Ethics in the Spot.
Got it.
There we go. It looks like a record label.
Spotify wanted to cooperate with this one. When you finally said In the Spot, it was like, oh, you meant that.
Yeah.
So,
I was trying to remember.
No, it's just how, you know, it thinks that it can, you know, normally finish our sentence for us, but it really can't sometimes. But
only when
here
we
it
talk
is.
about it, they'll give it to us when we don't
Exactly.
Want it, so.
It's when it's listening when we don't want it to listen, right? Like children.
Yeah.
Well said.
Hip hop is hip hop. It's fun. You know what I mean? It's just it's how people are. But for me, while staying true to who I am and the messages and the subject matter that I wish to touch upon in my lyrics, that's staying true, you know, to who I am and what I'm about.
And it's times like these, my microphone is mad critical. I'm analog, my Mosey's head try and act digital. With principles, originality. Those who mad at me, they chew their words like they had a rotted cavity. Yeah, yo, my rhymes, they float like gravity. Conduct my lines, and gradually y'all fake jacks just rolling with times. Drop projects that fold in the first line like 48. For those who awake, I lose sleep while trying to innovate. But just 1 second for y'all to motherfucking imitate. It's like you lick the shit straight off of my dinner plate. So what's good? I kick these styles for mad miles from the Mojave. Wreck shit as if I knew karate. Physics, it's about time I broke it down to lyrics in the flesh. My word is to instill, but I lack many skills. I see in the distance a red dot for heads who flop with no ethics in the spot.
Aesthetics flows poetic, so energetic. Don't get jealous, everything's copaesthetic. No, it's not synthetic, it's real deal, feel of kinetics. Gifted spill so ill in my genetics. This universal rhyme tone, leaving your minds blown. To ever come close, they need to design clones. Top tier, proven and shown. On the spaces he flown, on top of the world like a drone. Zone to these brainstorms off the top of the dome. Boom bap original rap. He got this on like a seamstress, and not too many are seeing this. My thoughts come alive on the beat. Call it supreme bliss. My team is something extraordinary. Keep a tight circle opposite of more than merry. We always keep the vibes top notch. Every rhyme that he drop, keep shining in the spots like.
Everything's a vibe, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for having me on. Yo, this is having a good time here. Just posted.
Hey, look, I'm glad that you're having a good time speaking. Considering all of the technical difficulties we've had throughout this, I apologize.
No, I think that's on my end too. It's all good.
But yo, man, this has been dope, man. Give us more, man. If you got some more time, everybody's vibing in the chat. Let's go live. We are live, man. Let's do it.
Let me see. Oh, this shit is dark as fuck.
Just don't make it hard for me to Google search this shit for me.
I say do the wheel, but you don't sound like you're like a lot of rap.
We vibing right now, man. We vibing right now. We listening to music.
Yeah, but I was like, I mean, it's a trademark, but
I think I'll the shit is I don't have that mark checked, you know what I mean, to that if you play it on here it shouldn't ban the or flag anything. Yeah. So
well, we'll share revenue. Every time it pop up, like share revenue.
We're not monetized, so we're giving it back to the love of hip hop anyway. Right now,
that's the crazy shit though. When it does get flagged, it's like, what the fuck?
Share revenue. Well, at least they used to block it. Now they give you an option to like, well, you're gonna split your money. I'm like, well, split it with them. Keep it moving.
No doubt, for sure. All right, so this is on Omnipotent. It's ruggedness and knowledge. This is the joint I'm gonna leave on and shit. So it's off the last release I did with Master Cypher Divine. This is the one right before Mass Collide.
Okay. Oh, tell us about it. Anything special about this?
Omnipotent was like 18 tracks, I think.
Yep. It is
18 beats. The homie Ripes did the letters on it. He spelled out Omnipotent for us. And then
Omnipotent.
Yeah, Omnipotent.
I've said it both. That's why I told you. Cause I said, wait, hold on. Some people say, tomato.
Yeah,
no, like really one of those words.
Is the real term. So
when I've said omnipotent until somebody told me omnipotent. I was like, and then you know how you be stubborn, like, nah, fuck that. The way I said it was right.
Yeah, I think originally we were gonna name it like omnipresent or something like that, but after doing some research, it was already put out.
Already some title.
Yeah, that's another thing. We've come with names and then we researched to make sure like that nobody else has really done it. So if they have, it kind of like that delays like we're like kind of in scrambling, like fuck.
Yeah, so y'all do the search beforehand, so what's and that makes sense. I mean, a lot of people don't even think about that, like, because when you hear the saying, "It's nothing new under the sun," like, oh, we came up with this dope ass title. Go search it. And see.
At one point, we're gonna drop a project called Celestial Soldiers, and because we both kind of have like a kung fu. We used to do some kung fu style beats, a while ago, but we just kind of drifted away from that shit. But we were coming back. We're like, let's drop one, So we did a Celestial Soldiers joint, and after doing research, we discovered I think it's Tash and Shabazz the Disciple had a group already. They were already going I think they did 4 tracks together as Celestial Soldiers. So we just deaded that project because we couldn't find like a real dope kung fu name at the time. So. That hasn't already been used in some type of like golden something or you know what I mean? So we just like just kind of tossed that. But
Fried Dragon.
It's crazy too, man.
I'm looking at a menu at this point in time.
I feel you. It's crazy because heads like actually have you know try to bite our shit, and they've talked to us, and I see something, after like we don't speak with them, or after I don't speak with them no more, they'll drop something with that name, but it's not so common where it's like, damn, like we didn't use that for that reason, and then now you discovered that that's what we were gonna do, and then you dropped that name because you thought it was dope, but you didn't do your research to why we didn't use it. So it's just crazy. It's happened many times where we've made a name and then not ran with something because we found either a better name or it was already being used in the past somewhere, and then we see heads kind of like go try to take that shit because we didn't do it.
That's dope for artists. I mean, like name branding and those things are very important, and to put that on the airways and let people know, like we do research before, like, oh, we ain't gonna do it, instead of doing it and then get blocked and stopped and waiting.
Yeah, it's just crazy, It's crazy. It's just that rush in the music, or like whatever, it sounds dope, we're just gonna use it, but because it does take a lot longer to discover something else, So, but yeah, I'm just gonna leave on this joint right here, ruggedness and knowledge. Nick Wiz sent me a drum kit, and like he sent me like a kick snare and a hi hat. I asked him for it because he was selling them on stage, so I got one, and then I didn't really plan on using it. I just wanted to have fun with some of his drums, So ended up making this beat, and then I shot it to him, and he digged it. I was supposed to give him producer credits on the tape, and I forgot, so I feel bad about that. But shout out Nick Wiz for supplying these sounds right here.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, here it is, ruggedness and knowledge, y'all. Boom.
Word up.
That's dope. That's dope.
I enjoyed making that one. That one was ill.
And you gave us a reason to listen to the end.
Yeah. There's it's I don't know, man. It's just fun making beats, no doubt.
Absolutely. All right, we got to leave you with one question, right? The one question you hold, it's clear, you hold hip hop near and dear, and you take it serious, and you're keeping the spirit going and keeping it alive. So salute to you for that.
Yeah, no doubt.
What is the one piece of game, insight, knowledge, or any type of wisdom that you can leave?
Oh, the best thing, man, is just be yourself. Don't try to do what others do, and that shit never works out in the end. You're not gonna be satisfied in the end of your journey, or you're gonna look back and see that it's not a lot of you, and it's a lot of trying to be something else and shit. So I just if you take something serious, treat it like it's serious and shit. Just respect your craft, and just try to remain yourself throughout whatever you're doing. Just try to remain yourself. That'll get you many places. Just being true and being a real individual. So
facts.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dope, man. Well, yo, Goomson. Salute to you, fam.
Salute, brother. Thank you guys for having me, man. That shit was cool.
Dope,
I enjoyed it because I didn't have to leave the house. I'm here.
Chilling in the home environment with your stacks of records behind you. And you had
a lot to make it easy.
You had a lot of quotables on this show. I mean, it's just like, yo, you got a younger dude with an old soul and a soul for not just hip hop, just life, man. It's just great interview. I love you.
Yeah,
love
thanks,
what you was
brother.
talking about.
It's just a product of my environment. I had we had to grow up quick at a young age. So just taking that with me through the rest of my journey here on Earth.
Hell yeah, man.
Spreading that to everybody else.
Word up.
Let's
get
guys.
It. Thanks for having me, man. For sure. I appreciate it. Down with you brothers.
So yo, I'm gonna press this beat because this is a beat that's done by our one and only Herbs One.
Word up.
From the Usual Suspects, Mad Herbs, and everybody else, man. Shout out to Herbs One, but give shout outs to him.
Word up, yo. First of all, big ups to my wife, big ups to my daughter Elle. Want to send a shout out to Master Cypher Divine, John Delis, Mike B, Ripe 143. Big ups to Fuck Tori out in Ukraine. Big ups to everybody watching this shit. Big ups to all the fans that continue supporting this shit, man. Because the Inner Realmz is here, and we're gonna continue representing and contributing to the hip hop culture. Word up.
Absolutely, word up. G Dash Fresh. My apologies. Shout outs, family.
I rock with both, but anyway.
I know. I'm like, all right, then.
It's all good. Hey, shout out to everybody tuning in. B girls, B boys, just rocking with us on Underground. Another great, dope episode. Shout out to Goomson. And shout out to the people that came in that was like specifically looking to check in on Goomson of the Inner Realmz. Man, we really had a good show. He had a lot of quotables. Blessing to this brother. Go to his merch shop. Find them physicals. You need those. Yeah. Shout out to Big Weez, Mad Ways, of course goes Boogie. Episode 71, man. I love y'all, brothers. We just keep doing what we do. And shout out to all the loved ones out there listening and tuning in. Rallo.
Yeah. Rallo. Mad Ways. Shout outs, fam.
Yeah, shout out to you, Boogie. Shout out to G Dash, Big Weez. Everybody in the chat, all the suspects. All the B-boy undergrounds and suspects, homies, everybody in the chat. I seen you pulled up. Shout out to Goomson, the Inner Realmz. Thank you for coming through, bro. You already know I fuck with you and got some fucking bangers, bro. Big love.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, thanks for hitting me up, yo.
Hell yeah, no doubt. You already know. We got. If we don't support each other, ain't nobody else gonna support us. You know what I'm saying? So,
damn.
Big love, bro.
Big ups.
Absolutely. Well, yo, big shout out to Goomson and the entire Inner Realmz family, man. And shout out to my B-Boys Underground family. Of course, Big Weez, G Fresh, G Dash Fresh. Either way, I'm gonna call you. I know you as G Fresh, so
That works.
Dag on it.
Either
you know
one.
What I'm saying? So anyway, call me G Fresh. Of course, Mad Waves, who got this interview for us. Thank you so much for that. Salute, but Goomson, dope interview, and anybody on the Inner Realms is always more than welcome.
Hell
to
yeah,
be-
I'll pass it over. I'll let those
Come
brothers
on
know.
in.
Bless us.
Absolutely. So tomorrow night, Usual Suspects Sesh is back. We got poker tomorrow night. Plus, we'll play a game of What the Dub. So tune in tomorrow night. The Usual Suspects, just unusual activity, mature content only. Shout out to Blurred Reality Weekly. We'll be back this Friday. Everything's on Ghost Boogie 66 on Twitch.tv. Usual Suspects Sesh on YouTube. B-Boys Underground on YouTube. Let's get it, man. Much love to y'all. Keep it positive, keep it pushing, keep persevering. Stay in the present. You can't change the past. You can't predict the future. Only thing you can do is take the proper preparation today to prepare the future that you want for you and your family. So keep it positive, y'all. Y'all split that. With that being said, Rallo.
Rallo.
Yeah, peace, y'all.